Hello and welcome to episode 33 of the Remote Gaming Podcast. We have a special one here for you today. My name is Kevin Corkum. I am joined alongside Santa's favorite little helper, Joseph King. Joseph, we've got a really fun episode today. I'm excited.
I sat on his lap about 30 years ago, and he never let me go. He kept me hostage in his basement on the North Pole.
You don't know
That's where
this,
I'm at.
but yeah, I was about to say.
Live on site. This is a basement. This is just a backdrop.
He's
Send
actually
help.
in the North Pole. Yeah, we've got a really good episode for you today. I want to walk you through the structure. It's going to be a little bit different from how we normally structure the show, just given a few things. The first thing is no news today. We're not going to talk about any major news pieces because, to be frank with you, there really hasn't been. The biggest piece of news that I've seen come out in the last couple of weeks was just numbers surrounding best-selling consoles at Black Friday. Surprise, surprise. PlayStation's in the lead, followed by Switch, followed by another random console, followed by Xbox. Nothing new there.
Ever.
But yeah, and that's just kind of what it's going to be. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk at the front up top about what we've been playing. So we're going to get through a couple of the games that we've been playing. Both of us have been playing Arc Raiders as well as a couple other games. So we will talk about that. And then we will conclude our favorite games of the last 25 years. We're going to run through 2016 all the way through 2025. So this is the Game of the Year show. We will give our game of the year. We will give the reasons why. I didn't put mine in the doc. I don't think Joseph put his in the doc either. So there could be a dark horse here at the end. So stay tuned for that. So that's what you have to look forward to on today's episode. I think we should just dive right in. Anything else you want to add, Joseph, or should we just get to talking games?
No, I was just going to say it has, living crazy lives, not being able to come every week like we want to. I don't even know, just because of the way our lives is, this might be the last show of the year.
It could be.
And so we don't know. And we wanted to I had this plan to do 2016 to 2020 in one episode, and then 2020 to 25. Life doesn't work out the way you wanted to. So we crammed a lot of video games. And I think that's kind of like why we're skipping the news this week. We got a lot of video games to cover from the years 2016 to 2025. These are the years. I saw Colin Moriarty posted something recently. Did you see his tweet like yesterday about there's just so many games? Like PS2 had, like the PS2 library was a couple thousand, and this year Steam alone had over 18,000 releases. So supply meets demand. There's just not enough people playing games. There's too many things to play. And you're going to see that with some of these years, because everything I think from 2016 to 25 that we talk about, every single one of these games is a banger. In my opinion, they're all good in their own way. Some of the stuff we left out before we get into that too, and I know we're going to talk about what we're going to play, but some of the stuff we left out, you're going to hear, well, this indie game wasn't on here, or this game wasn't, this remake, there was a lot of remakes, a lot of remasters that happened from 2016 to 2025. Some things didn't get put on the list. These are just the most critically acclaimed games of those years. But yeah, Kev, what have you been playing?
I have been continuing to play Arc Raiders off and on. I just pop in, do a couple, drop in a couple maps, grab some things, get in and get out. Haven't played a ton in the last week. I've been really focused on playing another game, but to wrap my thoughts up on Arc Raiders, I mean, we did a full pod on it the last time that we were here, so I don't have too much more to say. The game's awesome. It's so fun. If you haven't played it, you really should. It's something special, and these games only come around every so often, so I highly recommend it. And really, I don't have too much more to say about Arc Raiders. It's just great fun. But I have been playing Hades 2. Now, this is a dark horse for my game of the year. I adore this game. It is good on every level. The biggest place and where I think it shines the most is the art direction and the gameplay. It has that let's one more run, right? I'm not a big fan of roguelikes. I never really have been, but I saw that Hades 2 came out. I didn't play the first Hades. I didn't really care. I just wanted to play Hades 2. I got it. I'm playing it on the Switch 2. And it's also making me fall back in love with my Switch 2. It is the perfect game to play in handheld, to go dock, to play before bed, to play while you're, waiting for, like, I was like making pies the other day, and like I literally like put the pies in the oven and did a couple runs, right? The game does a really good job of
Baking with Hades with
Yes.
Seven Corkum.
I know, right? That's the pies turned out shit, by the way, because I can't bake. I can cook, but I can't bake.
Same.
Just I'm so bad. But at first, it took me about there's a difficulty curve, right? Like the game is difficult and it throws a lot of things at you. There are like 6 weapons. I have 5 out of the 6 unlocked right now. There are I'm gonna do minor spoilers here, not story stuff, but just kind of like gameplay and content. What happens is you have an underworld, and then you kind of have what I'm assuming, I haven't got there yet. I don't know. I'm 25 something hours in. I played a lot of this game, but I'm just hyper focused on kind of grinding where I'm at right now and unlocking more things. The progression of the game, every time you die, you come back and there's basically something else that you can unlock, right? And as you run through, you get these different, as you run through levels, you get these different boons, and they're basically just kind of like different power abilities. All of the different gods have different abilities, and you can choose, one for, 1 to 3 of them when you run into their boons in the wild. But each one of them do such a great job of mixing up the gameplay and how your weapon feels. It's just a joy to play and to figure out. It takes you a while to figure out, what weapons, what boons you like, which ones are good, which ones are not, which fit your play style. You're really squishy in this game too. Like, you don't have a lot of health, you take a ton of damage, so you really have to be careful and kind of plot what you're doing. Enemy variety is fun. They put you in really good environments, and it's
Is
just this.
is it still, correct me if I'm wrong, sorry to interrupt, but I played Hades, the original one,
Mhm.
and I liked it. I didn't beat it, but I put quite a bit of time in on Steam. Correct me if I'm wrong, the levels and enemy archetype, like, it's procedurally generated, correct?
I don't.
Is that like that in this one? I think that was in the first one. I don't know if it is this one or not.
Yeah, it's random basically when you pop into a room, but they're going to be how do I put this? They're going to be at a certain point, enemies have a certain amount of armor that you should just expect to run into, right? Like the
Okay.
difficulty scales as you move through.
Sure.
So the enemy variety will be a little bit different, right? So they'll throw, brute enemies at you with different types of enemies, but they're going to be around the same difficulty, around the same places. They have really fun boss battles, which are challenging. Some of them are really challenging, some of them are easier than others, but it's just really fun and rewarding in a way that I wasn't expecting it to be. I was kind of expecting it to be grindy and like a little annoying. And there is definitely a not a difficulty curve, but there's a point when you unlock enough things where all of a sudden the game gets a little easier. Like it goes from just dying and like you go and you get through, you get to the first boss and you die, and you get to the first boss again, you get a little further and you die, and then you get to kind of that second area, which I spent a lot of time getting past that second area. It's like this really cool aquatic level, and I died to that fucking boss like 7 times. Uh, but you finally get enough materials, and then you go back and you kick its ass, right? And then it's
Right.
it's the next boss, and it really does a good job of pulling you through. And I think for me, once I got past that second boss level, the aquatic, everything just kind of fell into place, and I knew the boons that I liked, I knew the weapons that I liked, and I knew how I kind of like to build my character as far as, should I get health here? Should I go more magic? Should I should I grab this? Should I go for coins? Like all of these things, you start to learn the systems and how everything plays together. And then once you get that, the game opens up big time. It's just really, really fun to play. And I can't recommend it enough. I'll talk about the story a little bit. It's interesting. It's a good story for sure. Like I'm not knocking it. I know it's really good. The voice acting is like phenomenal. It's unbelievable how much is voice acted in this game, and all of the performances are great. The art direction is beautiful. The world is really cool. it's just a fun game to spend time with, and I will probably be playing this for a while. I mean, there's so much that I haven't done yet, and I put a lot of time into it. So, highly recommend Hades 2 so far. And man, it's a dark horse for one of the best games I've played this year. And if I had more time with it, it who knows? Like it could take the top spot, but spoiler alert, it's not my game of the year. But I mean, it's damn close.
I was
It's
kind of hoping this would be. I was like, man, that'd be kind of cool to see if this thing that, not saying that you should. I mean, I'm like, you pick what you want, but it's like not many people are picking that. And I like when people pick things that are out of the norm. And I like that when people pick the dark horses, because it really shows the passion and love that people have for video games, and you're not just falling in love, like you're falling in line and conforming to the norm. Uh, there's just so much to play, and it's,
yeah.
will I play this? I don't know. It sounds great. I would like to beat the first one, and I have the first one, I think, on Steam still, and so I may go back and play it someday. But I'm glad the world needs these pretty, you know, games that are AAA, AA, and even independent games where, like one of my favorite games this year, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Amazing
Yep.
game. Throwback, callback to uh, one of the games that we'll talk about that was an influence, you know, to some of these games in the 90s, like The Messenger, and just 2D art, side scrolling art style. You know, Dead Cells, another roguelike that's very popular. Yeah, more games like these need to exist than these 75-hour open world adventures.
Yeah, and I mean, I probably will put close to 70 hours into the game. Like it's pretty, it's deep, and like I could go up to the the top level area, which is I don't know, maybe you go up to like Zeus in heaven, or I don't know, I don't fucking know. I'm not really following the story, but I unlocked it. I still haven't done it. I still haven't done it because I need to beat like the main boss in the underworld, and I haven't done that yet. I keep fucking dying to him. I'm close. I had him. I mean, I literally had him like classic one shot. Like he just needed one more poke, and of course I
And then you
wiped.
die.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the runs are long, man. They take like 45 minutes to an hour. So when you sit down for a run, and like now I'm at the place where I know that I can get to the final boss every single time, even if I'm having a bad run. Um, I'm strapped in, like buckle up. And I think that's what's nice about having it on the Switch is that I can play it on my TV and feel like okay, like I can pause it, take it away, and finish the run before bed or something like that. It's just and it runs at 120 FPS on the Switch. It runs at 60 FPS, I think, on the TV, and then on handheld, I think it runs at 120,
That's
or it
cool.
might be reversed. I can't, but either way, there's no frame drops. The game looks stunning, and it's just a joy to play.
I really, really want to switch to. I think I'm gonna have to shell out for one maybe next year. Hopefully, when things kind of slow down and maybe the economy catches up with itself. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but
Yeah,
um,
it's a great device. It
is
really
that,
is. The Switch is great.
what else have you been playing? Is that just that and a little bit of Arc?
I've been playing. I've been doing a little Final Fantasy Tactics on the Switch as well. I have
Nice.
a whole lot more to play. That game's fucking hard. So every time I play it, I'm like, oh my god, like I have to go level people up. They're not ready yet, and I'm still learning the system. So I'm still playing that a little bit on PlayStation. What did I boot up the other day? I booted up something. I can't remember what it was, and played some. Nothing crazy. But I'm kind of really into Hades, and if I'm not playing
Nice.
Hades, I'm probably playing Arc Raiders.
Nice. Yeah, that's
But yeah,
uh I have put an embarrassingly amount of time with my busy schedule into Arc Raiders. I've literally just been working, coming home, visiting with the children for a little bit, and then hopping into Arc. I've played a shit ton. I am not max level yet. I think I'm like 69. Oh,
hey,
I've got a ton of stuff in my bank. I've literally got everything done. All my quests are done. I've beaten the matriarch. I've beaten the queen. Um, so really kind of just in game, just grinding for blueprints and stuff. The trials is going to unlock soon for this week too, which is their
yep.
wipe basically.
Hmm.
And I think I'm going to hold off on this one because there's still so many blueprints I haven't acquired. If they didn't make you lose blueprints, I'd probably do it. Like that to me is not worth it for 5 extra points when you max out everything that you need. That 5 is sparing. It's not as good. It loses its luster to me. I think maybe eventually over time and if they figure it out and if they allow you to keep more things, because I think work the kinks out, and over time you may see this progress. And I'm kind of, I don't know which direction this is going to go. I'm hearing all this, people want PvE mode, and I don't know what side of the community they're going to listen to. Have you watched the documentaries on the Embark channel about it?
I've watched the first two. I have not watched the third one yet.
Same. I have not watched the third either. But it's very clear that this game was, originally intended to be a PvE game. Then they changed it to add PvP, to change it to add an extraction component to stay current with the times. And they even said this needed PvP. So I hope
Mhm.
it doesn't change. I hope there's no PvE only. I hope they don't split the community like Sea of Thieves did and Tarkov and things like that. I just, the honeymoon phase is over, and I do have problems with this game. Number one being the spawns, especially on the map that's notorious for spawns, Stella Montis. Summit 1G showcased on his channel. He did it on purpose. He extract camped, and he killed about 9 people in the span of 5 minutes because the spawns. And when you have a game like an extraction shooter where people go in with loadouts, you're making it, and then also to have free loadout every single time. Nobody I kill on Stella Montis has anything better than a free kit. They just don't. Nobody. And so I think spawns need to be fixed. I think if you go in with a free kit, you should not go in with a full timer. Or if you do, let that be random. But if I bring in all my stuff, you should put me in a match. Like I went in with a Venator and a Renegade the other day to hit loot rooms, and I went in at 17 minutes. To me, that's something that a free loadout should get. I don't think you should be able to run free kits every time, because all that's making people do is run free kits constantly. And it kind of, some of the best weapons in the game are like, the kettle and the stitcher, which come on free kits. And you can, because of the third person perspective to peek, you can easily extract camp or corner camp with that level 1 gun and just destroy somebody. And yes, be on your toes, pay attention, play smart. But this game doesn't need to be that competitive, but there are those changes I think that would make it better in the long run. But yeah, spawns are really bad in some of the maps. You can still spawn camp. I tested it out. I stayed close to a spawn. I didn't kill the guy, but I was like, how long would it take? And how far away from my spawn do I have to be? I was on Dam, and one of the little tunnels that comes out with the little
Yep. I know exactly the tunnel.
shelter. There's a couple of them. I waited. I spawned in at 29 minutes. I waited about 5 to 10 minutes. And I think one time at 5 minutes, and then one time at like 2 minutes, there was another player. And so they need to fix that. And after 17 minutes, it seems like it doesn't add anybody else to the rest of the map at 17 minutes. But in between 29 minutes and 17, it is constantly adding a player.
Yep.
And I don't know if I like that totally, because it just makes it. I don't want the arc to be nerfed, but I also don't like getting third partied when I've taken out arc and you could tell somebody just spawned in. Like one of the notorious spots on Dam is that big open lake area, and that's usually where the queen or the matriarch will be. And if people are teaming up doing that, there are 2 to 3 spawns on each side of that where that encounter takes place. And if you get them taken down, if you get 3 guys with wolf packs, it's not that hard, especially if one has like a hole cracker or something else. You can get a queen down pretty easily. Um, so I don't know. Like and they've nerfed things that don't make sense. They nerfed the Venator, but it's still the best gun in the game, which I don't think it should be touched again. It's still very good. Um, but yes, I think they need to add a free timer. So the honeymoon phases in is still the best, one of my favorite multiplayer games I've ever played. Um, but I'm still loving it. But I've been taking a break from it. I needed a palate cleanser, so I was playing things like the original Baldur's Gate, slowly working my way through that. That's just like, I got 10 minutes here. Let's go run a quest. And then one thing me and the wife have been getting back into, getting ready for season 2, is Fallout season 2 on Amazon is coming. And it just got me in that Fallout mood. And I was like, man, I just don't like Fallout 4. I'm not going to play it again. That game was not good to me. I don't want to install mods for New Vegas and Fallout 3. And even though I love those games to death. So I was like, let's see what's up in 76. I haven't played this in like a couple of years. So I go in and I
Interesting.
download it. And I downloaded it on PS5 and then I switched back over to PC because I had a character that was like very low level. And I wanted that kind of newer experience to just kind of see what's changed, and it just runs and looks great. I'm playing it at 4K and getting like 90 FPS on my 4K monitor on PC, so it's and maxed out settings, so it's great. It's great fun. Lots of quests. It's feeling more like a Fallout game. The new Burning Springs update, they added the ghoul that is voiced by Walton Goggins is in the game, and
Oh,
you
that's
can
cool.
connect with him and accept quests from him. It's pretty cool. Um, and you can do that right after like you can start doing his quest probably like after 20. I think my character's like 20, 25, and I'm enjoying it. It feels more like a Fallout game than Fallout 4 does. It doesn't feel like an RPG like New Vegas did. You don't have that level of freedom to make choices, but just the world itself feels more Fallout vibe and atmosphere, and being in West Virginia. And then you cross the bridge into Ohio. They've added the pit part from the Pittsburgh area. I think there's a pit area DLC in the game. I haven't made it to that yet, but I know they added that. But I'm really enjoying it. Some of the like, I've seen people walk by in power armor and these stupid skins that they paid for in the shop. That kind of breaks it for me, and I'm only teaming up with people because they have like world events dailies and stuff like that where you all team up and you take down a big boss, and you can just join a random group and get caps and materials. The thing that sucks is if you don't, which I'm playing this game casually. If you want to play this like for all its bells and whistles, the thing that sucks about this game is Fallout First, and that is their membership that you have to pay $14.99 a month, and it is you get a scrap box. Now the game is technically somewhat of a survival elements to it. You build things, you have a thirst and hunger system that can affect your endurance and your AP points and things like that. If you don't pay for Fallout First, you're constantly picking up stuff, whether it's food or other items to dismantle. The scrap box, you have to pay monthly for the scrap box. Other than that, you're playing inventory management. You're like, oh, what do I want to build? And so you have to kind of like build things one at a time. So you can't really hoard materials like in a traditional survival game. And so I think if people want to go in and they want to just be crazy with building stuff, that sucks. Me, I'm using my stash for ammo and weapons. I'm not giving a shit about building. I'm not building anything. I'm just working through the game, wanting to live in the Fallout universe, kill stuff, and go on. So I'm liking it. I can see why people would complain, but yeah, just a little bit of Fallout 76, and I got some other Fallout news I'll talk about when we do our Game of the Year or Game Awards predictions. So I'm gonna save that. But Fallout's been in the back of my mind for a lot and for a while, and so getting to play Fallout 76, watching the TV show is kind of like a little sprinkle of fun in there.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. I mean, I didn't play 76, but maybe I'll get to it one day. I The other game that I've been playing that I forgot to talk about was Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. That's the name of the second one, right? Or
Great game. Yep.
yeah, so I'm still working my way through that on PlayStation. It's awesome, man. It's
It's a
such a
mile
great.
deep and a mile wide, man. That's it's so there's so much content in Rebirth. It's insane. And
It's almost a little overwhelming to a
it
certain
is
extent. Like I think I've spent probably, over the last 2-3 weeks, like I've probably put in 4 hours or something like that, right? But like I feel like I just don't get anywhere even with that, but
I'm gonna break your heart. I've put in 65 hours and I'm still in Act 3.
oh man, yeah.
Yeah, dude,
I'll
it's
get through it. It's just piece by piece. Like I needed something to play on PlayStation that was an RPG and that I could kind of chip away at. I'm still chipping away at Persona. I'm so fucking close with Persona. Well, I say so close, but I probably have like 10 hours left. But Persona 4 is still on there. That's actually, I think, one of my Game Award predictions, is that we'll see more of that Persona 4 remake. At least I hope so. God, it'd be so fucking cool to do that, for that to drop Game Awards. But anyways, yeah, I that's what I've been playing. And anything else to say on your end about what you've been playing, getting ready for Fallout and all that?
Not just if you slept on Fallout 76 and it right now I think it's on sale on everything. It might be a good time to hop back in if you're in a Fallout mood because it's not No Man's Sky or Cyberpunk 2077 levels of redemption. Just because that Fallout First alone is very bullshitty and greedy. Um, but the game is much better than what it was. So if you own it, I would say reinstall and give it a go because it runs better on PlayStation now than it did because it was it was a PS4 title. It ran terrible. It
I
runs great on
remember ran like
PS5.
shit. Yeah, that's probably why I never played it.
It runs really good on both consoles now, and it's I mean obviously on PC it's great. So I like it. It is I would say a solid 6 to 7.5 out of 10. I like Fallout
Yeah,
76.
cool. I've been thinking there were a couple games that were on sale for the Switch. I'm in a real Switch mood right now. And there were a couple games. One of them was the new Star Wars game. Can't remember the name of it with the chick, not Rebels, not
Outlaws.
Outlaws. Thank you. Had some nondescript Star Wars name. Apparently looks pretty and plays pretty good on the Switch.
Really?
Yeah, there have been a couple ports recently that I've seen Digital Foundry do some. And Assassin's Creed Shadows, the new one, apparently it runs at 60 FPS, or excuse me, it runs at 30 FPS, but looks pretty good. And if I'm playing on the handheld mode, like if I'm playing handheld mode, I don't know, man. I mean, that's
Yeah.
appealing to me. I like to be able to do that while my wife's watching TV or just so I'm not hogging the TV, play in handheld mode and just kind of sit down and have some fun. So I'll probably pick something up like that around Christmas, just something else to play on the Switch. But um, yeah, it's a cool little device. It's pretty neat, and I love my Portal as well to be able to stream things. But there's something about playing it natively that just feels good. Like I'm a big visual fidelity guy. I just upgraded my graphics card. Like I've got a 5070 Ti. Like I want kind of like and it's not the best fucking graphics card in the world, but
Still good.
it's very good, right? Like it's way better than what I had, and games run amazing. Actually, maybe I'm gonna talk a little bit about the graphics card because I think it's worth, if you have a PC out there and you're looking at an NVIDIA graphics card, the AI upscaling that they have and like the frame, I think it's called the
Frame generation.
it's frame gen, and
That's
whatever,
AMD's. But DLSS is on NVIDIA, and it's way better than AMD's. Oh gosh, F
it's like
something.
they're using
FSR.
AI basically to predict frames.
Right.
And let me tell you, man, you can have it at 2x, 3x, and 4x. Now, your latency gets worse as you go up, right? I haven't
Yeah.
needed anything over 2x. I mean, it's in the latency, I can't feel at all. Like I can't feel a difference between not having it and having it, and my frame's double.
Yeah.
It's really great technology. I was on a 3070 Ti, and I would have to drop everything and bump everything down to kind of like low to medium settings to get my higher frame rate at 144. I can play at medium to high, sometimes higher than that. Especially with the frame gen, the games look great with DLSS on quality. Like it's a pretty sweet thing. I'm getting bottlenecked in some CPU heavy games like
Yeah.
Battlefield. I'm definitely getting some bottlenecks there, where if I turn the graphics up and things like that, my CPU is chugging a little bit, so I have to drop them down for that reason. I'll eventually upgrade that, but for right now, most games are GPU heavy, and my CPU is good enough that it can run anything really. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like it was cool jumping in. I jumped into Overwatch 2 just to like see, dude. I mean, the game is just like butter, like
Yeah.
and it was on my other one because that game's really well optimized. But Arc Raiders, I'm getting over 200 FPS using that frame gen at 2 times. Like just smooth and it looks great. So if you're looking at getting a new graphics card, I think the 40 series has the AI upscale, and then the 50 series does as well. So I mean, if you're not playing at 4K, I game at 1440p here, on my monitor. I think that's kind of the sweet spot for performance and fidelity and all of that. Um, I had no issues. It was my first time installing a GPU as well. So
Yeah. You were texting me. You were like, "Wish me luck," and I'm like, "Oh boy."
yeah,
If you've never set up anything customized on a PC before, the first time you do it, especially building one from scratch, it's like performing heart surgery. You're so nervous that you're going to mess something up, and then when you hit the power button, you're like,
please.
"Will it work?" Yeah. Welcome to the dark side, my friend.
Yeah, it was sick. Like it really was. It was cool. It was fun to do. And it was a good little self gift for myself.
What pisses me off is, I swapped to AMD graphics this year because I was running the 30 series and I was like, man, I want a 5090. And then I was seeing all these problems with NVIDIA's 5000 series and all this. And I was like, yeah, let's go to AMD. And as soon as I do that, AMD's drivers have always kind of sucked. And so they're not that great. And FSR isn't as good as DLSS. And then now the 5000 series, they get it all fixed out. And it seems like all the NVIDIA drivers are running great. And it's like, and then you got games like Arc that's on Unreal, and everything's great. And now I'm stuck on AMD for a while, but it's fine. My graphics card's great, so I have no complaints. It's just DLSS blows FSR out of the water, and they've really kind of. So I'm hoping the drivers get better and some of that FSR starts to look better. But yeah, DLSS and NVIDIA is. I've always been a NVIDIA fan, and so
It's game by game, though, from what I hear. It
yeah,
really is game
yeah,
by game.
and it is. I mean, like Tarkov, I still get shit frames in because it's so CPU bound. So it's like it's
Yeah.
such a
That game
anyway.
that game kind of eats my CPU when I played it before.
That game can eat my ass. So
Oh yeah, dude, I hear you. But yeah, that's I think that wraps up what we've been playing. We've got a lot of friggin' games to get through here, Joseph. I'm really excited about this. I think this is I don't know. I always have such a fun time going through here, walking down memory lane, thinking about where I was in my life as I played these games. And we're getting to the point now where some of these games are still games that
we
people
play.
play today,
Yeah.
or I play today, or you know what I mean? So it's yeah, this generation we've been talking about here for since we've started this really being something that we were excited to dive into. All of the older stuff from when we were younger is really cool too, but this is like the meat and potatoes. Like this is really where we've been spending our time, and with some of these games still continue to spend our time with, starting back at 2016.
Yeah, I think some of these are about to. They're a lot. This first group's about to be almost 10 years old now, and I guarantee you, every game that you're about to read from 2016 to 2025, somebody is playing on Twitch right now. So they're all
Yep.
very relevant. And I think this is going to be the more entertaining piece because if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably more up on the times with gaming as it is today and how it's been for the last 10 years. So without further ado, Kevin.
Let's jump on in. I'm arranging my screens here so that I can kind of see your reactions and also read. So bear with me. Here we are. All right. 2016. The most critically acclaimed games: Uncharted 4, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, Persona 5, Dark Souls 3, Titanfall 2, Doom, Stardew Valley, Overwatch, Firewatch, Battlefield 1, Hitman. This is the reboot start World of Assassination. Final Fantasy 15, Ratchet and Clank reboot, The Witness, Quantum, Dead by Daylight, Break, Unravel.
Oh, that was a typo. Quantum Break and then Dead by Daylight. I went back and I added some stuff. So sorry. Quantum Break,
Got it.
The Remedy game.
That's Remedy game. Yeah. Darkest Dungeon, Total War Warhammer, Mafia 3, Watch Dogs 2, Pokemon Go, Overcooked, Abzu, Tom Clancy's The Division. I mean, just alone here, Persona 5 is probably a 10 out of 10 game. Uncharted 4 is absolutely incredible. The Doom remake, Titanfall 2, Overwatch. I mean, I have so many hours, and I've spent so much time with so many of these games. It's hard to even. I mean, Pokemon Go, shit. My brother still plays Pokemon Go.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
To this day, he still plays Pokemon Go every single day. Like these are games that have really long-standing communities with them. A quick aside here that's pretty kind of funny. Well, my wife and I were in LA. We stopped in LA for 2 days. We did Disneyland on our honeymoon on our way out to Hawaii, and they had the World Championship Pokemon tournament at the hotel we were staying at.
Are you
So it was
serious?
Pokemon Go, it was Pokemon Go, it was Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and it fucking reeked in that place from these nerds. But it was really, really neat. Like it was so cool.
What's the
But yeah,
gas Pokemon? What's his name? Oh
oh,
god! Then when
Gang,
he evolves, he has the two
Gengar,
heads.
right?
No,
Is it
that's the ghost.
Gengar?
That's the ghost
Oh, that's
Sparkle.
the ghost.
Wait,
That's
I
the
mean,
purple
he
ghost.
is a gas type.
Coughing, coughing,
Coughing,
coughing,
coughing.
coughing.
It smelled like
Yeah.
you were coughing in there because of the coughing.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
dude. It was awesome. It was so funny. I was like, my people. Yeah. I mean, but like just to say, there were thousands of people there to play Pokemon. To compete in Pokemon Go battles and all this shit. And I mean, these games are huge. Overwatch obviously has Overwatch 2 now, but still has a massive community of people playing. Battlefield 1, arguably one of the best Battlefield games ever released, in my opinion. Like these are all incredible games. It was really difficult for me to choose my favorites, but I'll kick it over to you. What do you have to say about this list?
Man, this year alone, it's kind of like looking back. I remember what I was playing. I had my PS4, and there were things and on my PC. But some of these games I never played that are good, like Firewatch. I heard is really good. Dead by Daylight. I never really got into that because we were playing another game that gets released here. I think in the next year. Abzu, I heard is pretty cool. That's kind of like a survival horror ish thing. If I'm thinking right.
Same
Or was that
creators
no? That was
as
the people that made Journey, wasn't it?
Yep, same creators as Journey.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right. Darkest Dungeon. I tried it. I had it on Switch. It was really cool. Just never really got into it. Just one of those things. But I had a really tough time between two games, and I was like, what did I spend my most time with? And I loved Uncharted 4. I really did. I liked it. I liked the story. I liked his brother's character. But the Hitman reboot, I put so many hours into that Hitman game. I was trying to 100% every single, even like the training levels, because it was so in depth, and it was the most in depth Hitman game I've ever played. I honestly think Hitman, the reboots 1, 2, and 3, World of Assassination, and all that stuff, and what they're still doing. They just had like you go up against Eminem he hires you to kill Slim Shady, and a lot of the stuff they're doing is really cool. And I'm looking forward to IO Interactive's James
Yep.
Bond game. I think that's
Me
going to be
too.
phenomenal.
Can't wait.
But yeah, I really wanted to pick Hitman, but I remember playing this first game on my grandpa's Apple computer back in the early 90s, in like 96, and Doom reboot was like, holy shit. I remember when I first saw that trailer, I think it was like at the Game Awards or E3, and what's his name? That was God, was it Romero? Not John Romero. That's the
Are you talking about the Doom guy from
yeah,
It?
I
I never
forget
remember
his
his name either. I can
I
always
never
see his
remember.
face.
But anyway, he comes out and he's like, we're bringing it back, and the soundtrack kicked ass. It was
John
so
Romero.
good. John
You were right.
Romero. Okay, so I was right. For some reason, I was thinking the director of Night of the Living Dead. Isn't that also John Romero?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
I swear that's like the same person.
John Romero, video game developer. Let me see here. Yeah, this guy's. I mean, you can't.
Type
Once
in
you see
Night of
this
the
guy
Walking.
once,
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
unsee him.
I
John
know his
Romero.
face. So I knew
Yeah.
I thought that was right, but that's something was the Night of the Living Dead that made. Then he came back and made.
Night of the Living Dead. Let me see.
What is his name? It's the
I'm
director.
looking it up. Yep, I'm looking it up now. Director
I'll cut this out because it's just going to
is
drive me crazy.
George Romero.
George Romero. I knew it was Romero. So
Yeah.
anyway, but Doom 2016 reboot, just so fast paced, balls to the wall. The music was amazing. The finishers that you could do, getting the chainsaw, then when you got the shotgun, it was just, I love that game. So that was my favorite game of 2016 was Doom. What about you?
My favorite game is going to be the original Division.
Oh, so good.
The entire game is a vibe, and I think the Division was way ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I think the Division was way ahead of its time. The Dark Zone is essentially an extraction shooter,
and especially the survival mode that they added later in like one of the first seasons. That is the first extraction shooter.
and both are so good, man. And it's set at in Christmas time in New York City. The gunplay is awesome. The story was good enough. It launched in like a so-so state from what I
Yeah.
remember, but I stuck with that game, and I still boot up the Division 2 every now and then. I'll download it on PlayStation. It's like 150 gigs just to play 2 or 3 hours, just to feel something again. Because I love the way those games.
Just
I
a
love yeah. I love the way those games feel. I like the gameplay loop. They're just such great games. And I think the Division is just, I think the original Division got a lot of flack when it first came out, but it's on the, is it the Teardrop? Or is it the Snowflake engine? What is it? The
Snowdrop.
Snowdrops, Teardrop, Snow. I had them in
Yep.
there somewhere.
Snowdrop.
Engine is awesome. Looks
Mhm.
great. The UI is really interesting, and there's just no game like it. And I'm bummed that that we haven't gotten any real new good content for the Division 2 in a while. But yeah, that's my choice. I mean, I easily could have gone Persona 5, Uncharted 4, or Overwatch. I probably I went here with what I've put the most hours into, and that's the Division.
That was probably between that and Hitman was probably the one I put the most hours in. Definitely Division 1. And you want to, I always talk about atmosphere. If you want an atmosphere game, like this still, like, I don't know if you've done it. You should do it with your new PC. Go max out everything and see how it looks on PC. It is
Oh
phenomenal, dude. It
yeah,
is so, so good. And it still holds up, and you can still go play through it today. So if you never played it, I don't know, something about having, and just the way you can hear your feet crunch in the snow. It's a great game. Division 1 is a great game. And I hope Division 3 comes out and it continues to raise the bar, and they're listening to their fans, because from what I've heard, the Division 2 is in a good spot, and it has its own little niche community of the internet that still play it, kind of like Destiny does. um they canceled. I was really looking forward to the Division. It was the extraction shooter,
Heartlands.
that the Heartlands. It was good.
Yeah, me
I
too.
liked it. I played the shit out of the
Yeah,
alpha, and then they
we
canceled it,
played.
and I
Yeah, we
don't.
played together. I remember that.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope some element of that gets put into it. Maybe it's a game mode inside Division 3, but yeah, Division 1's great.
Yeah, awesome games. Really, really awesome. All right,
Oh
Joseph,
boy.
we're gonna go on to one of gaming's best years of all
Biggest,
time.
fattest. It's the thick year.
I mean, I'm just gonna start reading off
I
these
could
games.
Before you do, I couldn't even
Yeah,
put in everything that was probably. There's probably some games that were left out that were like, man, that's a good game. Why didn't it make the list? Because listen, to how many fucking games are in 2017?
2017. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Horizon Zero Dawn, Hollow Knight, Nier Automata, Divinity Original Sin 2, Resident Evil 7, What Remains of Edith Finch, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Total Warhammer 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, South Park The Fractured Butthole, Evil Within 2, Little Nightmares, Sonic Mania, Middle Earth Shadow of War, Prey, Wolfenstein 2, A New Colossus, Neo, PUBG, Fortnite, Splatoon 2, Forza Motorsport 7, Destiny 2, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Outlast, Sniper Elite 4, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Friday the 13th, Mass Effect Andromeda, and For Honor.
Holy
The
shit!
This is an insane year for video games. There's no wrong answer here for
No.
if one of these games, if you're listening and one of these games is your favorite, you're correct. Like I don't know what I don't know. I really struggled. I still don't even have anything like definitive
And
down on our Google Doc.
surprisingly, Kevin and Joseph didn't pick Destiny, which
Yeah.
is one of our favorite games, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
I
We talk
you
about
could
Destiny so much on this podcast.
Yeah, and you could go Destiny. I think that's why I didn't go Destiny. Is that like we've hammered Destiny to death on this, the good, the bad, the ugly, because we love that game. Like I think both of us really
And hate it.
deep down,
I,
yeah.
I hate
You
it now.
can't, and that's that's what you do with things that you love, right? You love it
Yep.
and you hate it all at the same time because you care so much about it. But I I disagree with the game that you have here for your favorite. I have very strong opinions about this game, but
A lot of people do.
I'm in the minority. I'm definitely in the minority. But I mean, what else is there to say about this year? You have anything interesting to say, or do you just want to kind of shout out your favorite game and we can dive into it from there?
I just looking at this list, like um Evil Within 2 is a very underrated survival horror game. I will beat that dead horse to death that Shinji Mikami makes the best survival horror games of all time, and he did, and he did it. He did well with Evil Within 2. Not a lot of people played it. Um, Assassin's Creed Origins kind of changed up the formula. It was the reboot of the series, and it's really good. I like it. Um, Mario Kart 8 was just a port, but it was so much better than what we had on the Wii U. Um, Divinity Original Sin 2 that started Larian's skyrocketing them into the upper echelon of RPG developers. Resident Evil 7, holy cow. You want to talk about changing the series to just go first person and still somehow feel like Resident Evil. It's great. Shout out to Edith Finch. I had to put this in here. What Remains of Edith Finch is one of the coolest indie games I've ever played. If you've never played it, it's kind of like you're just walking through this old house that this girl who's a grown woman, she grows up in, and you just kind of go through the memories of the lives of the people that they were around. Or she's the granddaughter, and you're going through the memories of the people that lived here, and it's just such an emotional roller coaster of a storytelling and just some jackasses hauling ass up and down the street. Um, but it's just an emotional roller coaster story. So I love What Remains of Edith Finch. If you can find that game, it's a great indie game. Honorable mentions: played so many hours of PUBG and Fortnite before they were even a thing. I was
Yep,
playing
me too.
PUBG in alpha when it was third person only on Arendelle. Before it was even called Arendelle, it was just the map you went on, and tons of Fortnite before anybody knew about that. Because I remember seeing Fortnite as a teaser for a tower defense game, and I'm like, well, that looks fucking stupid. And lo and behold, in 2017, they changed it to a VR, and it has been the gaming's upper echelon. It's the new World of Warcraft. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
everywhere, and it killed Call of Duty because it ruined Call of Duty because
yeah.
Warzone tried to copy it. But yeah, my favorite game is a little divisive, maybe not for the time, but that's kind of like the reason of this list. In 2017, I've been trying to put myself at where I was at, and I'm going to kind of contradict that in 2020. But uh, my favorite game is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It is my favorite Zelda game. I've played Majora's Mask. I've played Ocarina of Time. I've played A Link to the Past. I love all those games. I think Breath of the Wild is the best Zelda game, and a lot of people disagree with that. That's fine. I get it. I get that you can't let go of your 3D polygons on the Nintendo 64, which Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask would like A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo would be my favorite Zelda before this. And so
Mhm.
I really do love Breath of the Wild, the open world, the going through completing all the dungeons, or not dungeons, but shrines, doing all those. I remember the first time I fought a Lionel, and I was like, what the shit. I remember finding the the Master Sword and getting enough hearts to get it out of the ground, and just the callbacks to all the old games was really cool, and seeing all the cast of characters from every Zelda game kind of culminate into this. I love it. But yeah, I mean, this this year was insane. Star Wars Battlefront 2
Yeah.
was amazing. Is still amazing.
It's
I just
still amazing. The game is so good. Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2 has no business being as fun as it is. It launched with all of the microtransaction bullshit, but man, if it didn't, I think that game would not only, I mean, people still play it today, but I think we'd still be getting content for it. And
yeah.
I think it would be yeah, just such a bummer.
And
Such a
it's
bummer.
still beautiful. It holds its
Oh,
own up with any game released today. That engine that they use at EA for Battlefield and for Madden and Battlefront, like, just amazing. I don't think it looks as good as, which is crazy to me, that Battlefront 1 in 2015 looks better than half the games released today.
yeah.
Uh, but the content that they put in there and what Battlefront 2 has evolved into, it, man, make 3, please. Make me love Star Wars again, because Disney has killed it.
Yeah, I agree, man. Battlefront is such a good game, and just few of my thoughts on Breath of the Wild. I played Breath of the Wild when it came out, I put in, I don't even know, probably around 100 hours into it over time. My wife lapped me on that game. She put in way more time than I did. And so I've seen just about all the game has to offer. I went in, I beat Ganon, I got this Master Sword. I completed most of the shrines. There's probably a few I haven't. I didn't play the DLC. To me, I also played Horizon Zero Dawn that year, and I just thought that game was better in every single way. I thought the combat was better. I thought the world was better. I thought it was more interesting. I enjoyed the story better. I enjoyed the characters. Like, I absolutely loved Horizon Zero Dawn. And I think I played Horizon released before Zelda, right?
Yes, yes. Horizon was in like March or something, and then
And then
Breath of the
Zelda
Wild and Odyssey came out in the fall.
fall, right? With the release
The
of the
release is
Switch
Switch.
2.
Yep.
And I there was something about every time I was playing Breath of the Wild, I just wanted to play Horizon. Like, I don't know. I absolutely adore Horizon, and that's an unpopular opinion. A lot of people shit on Horizon. It's a very popular franchise, but there's a lot of Horizon hate out there.
That I don't get. I don't get the hate on Horizon. I think it's a lot of fucking gamer goons that don't think Aloy is hot enough for them or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm. It is going to be one of those games that I'm like, I'm going to look back and wish I really would have played Forbidden West one day. I bet, because I haven't. I have no plans to. It just didn't get its hooks into me, and I don't know what it was. And I think it was the story of that first game that it was just like, I don't know. It's just not compelling to me. I liked Aloy as a character. I liked her voice actress. Just it just didn't. I don't. Maybe it was open world fatigue at this point, and, then, so I go and play 300 hours of Breath of the Wild.
Well, what's interesting is that there was actually I went to get the platinum in this game. It would have been, one of my first platinums at the time, and there was a bug with a quest. So I wasn't able to get the platinum because of this bug. I would have had to and I never did, but that's a platinum I've like given myself. I love the game, man. It's awesome. But it's not my favorite game of 2017. I'm going with Fortnite.
Woo!
I'm going with Fortnite for a lot of reasons. The first reason is I think it really introduced me to what I would consider like the broader streaming gaming community too. I
Sure.
remember sitting and watching, Ninja in his and Myth and Daquan and like all of those guys streaming Fortnite. I was there when they were playing it, and I was there playing the game with them back when Fortnite was like everyone thought it was a joke, and until it started to blow up, right? Like,
It blew
I got
PUBG out
my
of the water. Like I was with you with. I just wanted to. I was the same way with PUBG. Like that's
yeah.
where I found out about Shroud and Summit, and I had seen these guys win these Counter Strike tournaments, and I knew they were like in the DayZ community, and so that community went and started playing PUBG, and that's I'm with you. That's when that probably kicked off for me too.
Yeah, but I also have, hundreds of hours playing with my friends, and friends that like are not big gamers but love Fortnite. My
Fortnite,
roommate at
yeah.
the time, that's how we used to, man, my wife would jump on, I would jump on, and my buddy Colby would jump on, and we'd play for hours, dude. I mean, we would play for an entire night. Like, I'd play with you. That game brought so many people together, and
Yeah.
it's still a joy to play. Like, it's still fun to play. If someone texts me and they're like, "Hey, do you want to play some Fortnite?" I'm like, "Shit." I was like, "I haven't booted that game up in forever, but yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Let's go play Fortnite." And it's always a good time. Like, there's a
And it's
lot of
always
Fortnite
evolving.
haters. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of Fortnite haters out there, and I don't play builds anymore because I'm not that good. I can hold my own on no builds, which was the best thing they ever did for the game. It was the best thing they ever did for the game. You
Yep.
got out of the sweats, you could play that, and you didn't have to worry about turbo build and all this stuff. But if you want to, it's there, right? Like, there is that community that's there, and it's mostly younger kids who can have the dexterity and fucking mental fortitude to be able to do that shit. But I don't anymore. But I think it's going to go down. It's obviously expanded from what it was. It was a tower defense game, then it was a BR, and now it's this entire shared universe where Disney wants a part of it. Like, I mean, everybody is going to be in there. It's just it's a cool story. It is. I think it's a really good lesson in make a game that is quality. that feels good to play, that has a good gameplay loop, but at the end of the day, it's just fun. And that's
Right.
what Fortnite did really well.
Yeah. I think it's going to be up there. Like when we look, like we may do that one day, right? Make a most influential games podcast, and like I always talk about, like GTA 3 set the mold for open world games, and World of Warcraft is very influential. But I think at some point, Fortnite for today's, especially 2017 and forward, um, you look, there's elements of Fortnite and Arc Raiders. There's elements
Battle
in Fort.
Pass.
Yep. There's elements of
Like,
Fortnite and Overwatch, and that Overwatch came first, right? But there's things that just keep going, and it's just it's not going to go away. And you can talk about the capitalistic venture from Epic's perspective, and bitch about that if you want to, but you cannot disagree that, man, it is a force to be reckoned with, and it ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
no. And if you haven't played it because it's Fortnite, play it. You're going to have
Yeah,
a good time. Go in with
it's
an
a
open mind.
it's a fun game. It is a really fun game.
Yeah. I watched Peanut was playing it for the first time the other day. Did you see that? He got off and he was like, I had a sponsored ad for like 4 hours. He's like, and then I played for another 4 or 5 hours. And he was talking to Myth, right? Obviously, where Myth is like came up in Fortnite and stuff like that. And he's like, I get it now. Like, I get why you guys got so addicted to that game. Like, it's just quality, you know?
Yep.
And I think it's one of those games that, like, when people get their hands on it, they understand it.
Yep. For sure. For sure.
2018, another banger year for video games. Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Far Cry 5, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, A Way Out, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Among Us, Battlefield 5, Life is Strange 2, the original Hades, Black Ops 4, Hitman 2, Fallout 76, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Subnautica, Forza Horizon 4, Celeste, Vampire, Sea of Thieves, Just Cause 4, Jurassic World Evolution, Dead Cells, Monster Hunter World, Frostpunk, the original Octopath Traveler, Mega Man 11, The Messenger, and Hunt Showdown. Another great year for games. Not quite as good as 2017, but there are still some really big games in here. Red Dead Redemption 2 is awesome. It's just such a fantastic video game. There's God of War 2018, which obviously is the reboot, third person, whole new, narrative. You're in Norse mythology now, and all of the awesome stuff that went along with God of War, Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human. Like, there's just Among Us, which kind of took the zeitgeist there for a while, and there's a lot of good games here that I think we could talk about for a while. But I definitely I have my game of the year, and it really, yeah. I'll get to it in a minute. What do you have to say about this year as a whole?
Great year. I actually think there's better games in this year than 2017. I think that, like, Red Dead, God of War, Spider-Man, a lot of those three alone clear half the list in 2017. I have to give a shout out to Kingdom Come Deliverance. I put that game off for so many years. I didn't play it because, like, the combat, it just didn't make sense to me, and I was like, this is kind of clunky. I don't like it. And I'm like you, the game needs to feel good.
Yep.
And then I was like, earlier this year, I finally gave it a go, and it was either this year or last, I can't remember. And I played it from start to finish, and I was like, "What the fuck? I missed out on this! Like, this game is phenomenal." Great story. I played through part of the second one. I'm gonna play. I played the demo when it was they had like a free weekend, so I played as much as I could, and I want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance to its full potential. But The Messenger. I'm old. I'm an 80s kid, or I was born in the 80s, and this is a love letter to every side-scrolling Metroidvania from the 80s to 90s. And The Messenger, if you've never played it, just go look it up. It's a mix between Ninja Gaiden meets Castlevania meets Metroid. It's so fun. It's humorous. The text to speech, or the text of the story is so funny. There's a character that's the what do you call it? The merchant. The merchant character is so hilarious in this game. But yeah, the messenger is great. It was really hard for me. I put probably the most hours into Sea of Thieves. I
Mm.
love Sea of Thieves so much. I have not played it in probably almost 2 years, but man, I loved everything about Sea of Thieves. I put so much time into it. Hit Pirate Legend, grinded it because it was a really hard grind to hit Pirate Legend when it first came out because the XP was so it ticked so small. So if you hit Pirate Legend before they buff the XP, you're an OG. And still got my day one patch because I was there day one. You get it's an eye patch that has a red one in it, and I love Sea of Thieves. But there are two games that I can't pick. I can't. I love them both. At the time, 2018, God of War, the reboot, that journey, that game is one of the most special times in gaming. And because I was like, I kind of cared about God of War. And I was like, we'll play this. I played them all. I love the arcadiness of it, right? The violence, and Kratos is just this angry person. But then they actually gave him a character arc and a depth to him. And it's still a continuation of those first three games. It's not a complete reboot of the narrative. It's a reboot of the systems and the gameplay. And it's so emotional. It's so good. And then Red Dead Redemption 2. If it wasn't so long in the tooth and so overly complex that it feels kind of simmy, I would give it to Red Dead 2. The story of Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan is one of the greatest video game characters of all time. Um, so I can't pick between those two. I honestly can't. They are both my favorite of that year. I played over 200 hours, I think, of Red Dead 2, and I think I platinumed God of War. So I platinum Spider-Man 2, or as well, not Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man as well. But yeah, God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2. Those I can't say enough good things about those games.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. This is another one where it was a toss up for me between God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Spider Man, and I went with the game that I had the most fun with, which was Spider Man. I was in. This was the year of my life that I was in New York City,
Oh yeah,
so my gaming time was really precious because we lived four people in a 2 bedroom,
you're in Hell's Kitchen,
700.
right?
Yeah, in Hell's Kitchen. It was tiny. We had a great TV, but like I had to kind of fight for TV time sometimes. Where I mean, there's a bunch of other people. Like we'd watch movies together and things like that. But my gaming time was really precious. It was when people were out, and like it was just maybe me and Casey, or just me, and playing Spider-Man when living in New York was a complete vibe. It was so cool, man. Like I could look out, I could hear the city,
Yeah.
and I was playing Spider-Man. I just, what an incredible cool thing that like we're talking about atmosphere and vibe, and like I would like get out from like the subway and like whatever, and then come back and play Spider-Man, and it was really neat, man. It was really cool. I love the story. The combat's awesome. Like upgrading and flying around the city is
Oh
so
yeah.
fun. And I
You can
think
web
part
swing
of,
for hours. You can just go just web swing.
and it feels great to do that. I would do that a lot. And I really loved Red Dead Redemption 2, but I was living in a fast-paced city, and Red Dead Redemption is a very slow-paced game.
Slow.
So it was
My God.
nice to have that kind of, but oh my God, sometimes I'd be like, come on, like let's go, like walk in the
Oh,
fucking
open
store,
the
let's buy
goddamn
some
cabinet.
stuff. Yeah. So
Turning the page of every page. Yeah,
yeah,
it's man. So Spider-Man's my favorite superhero of all time. I think you know that. And I
yeah,
think to live that, like, no, yeah, 100%. If I was living in Manhattan, in New York, any borough, Brooklyn, Bronx, doesn't matter. Wherever I would live, if I was living in New York and I played that game, that would probably be my favorite of that year too. Like you're
yeah,
literally like and then they did so good, like 1-to-1 almost on some of the places. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I get it.
Very, very cool time. Um, like I didn't play as many games in 2018. I played a ton of games in 2017. And I played a really good amount in 2019 as well, which we'll dive into here. Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Mortal Kombat 11, Control, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Days Gone, COD Modern Warfare Reboot, which is awesome,
It
Sekiro,
is.
Shadows Die Twice, Disco Elysium, The Outer Worlds, Division 2, what is that?
Shenmue
Shenmue 3,
3. Yep.
Borderlands 3, Metro Exodus, Gears 5, Apex Legends, The Ill-Fated, Anthem, Womp Womp, and Blasphemous. There's some good games here. I think it's a weaker year overall for games. I
When
played
you
a
look at the last
ton.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I played a ton of Call of Duty Modern Warfare this year. I really, really enjoyed it. Love the way it played. Control is awesome. If you haven't played Control, play Control. What a fun, cool, kooky game with interesting gameplay and really cool lore and environments. Borderlands 3. Yeah, go for it.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna piss off some Alan Wake fans. Other than Max Payne trilogy, Control is Remedy's best game. Like
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
It's so good. And it's so interesting. It's dynamic. Really, really great game. Really, really great game. The Division 2, obviously, I love the Division. I love the Division 2. I've played a lot of the Division 2. I still go back to play it. I prefer it to Borderlands 3, just as a looter shooter. I like Borderlands 3. The story kind of sucked for me in that game. Apex, Gears 5, Anthem, which sucked because the game was cool, but just never had any legs. It just the loot system sucked. They didn't know how to make a looter shooter. So especially in a year where the Division 2 came out, Borderlands 3, and then Destiny 2 was kind of in its prime at that point. The expansions for Destiny 2 were pretty good from what I remember in 2019. So it just didn't stand really a chance. But I think overall, fairly strong year.
For sure. I mean, I'll talk a little touch on Modern Warfare reboot. I think Modern Warfare reboot, the 2019 Modern Warfare, revitalized Call of Duty and helped kill it at the same time because it gave us Warzone. And I think Warzone is slowly killing Call of Duty. I think COD's lost its identity. I think it has a problem coming up with good map design now is part of the problem a lot. We saw that really evident in Modern Warfare 2 and 3, which were god awful games. Um, Black Ops 7 looks just atrocious. I'm not even going to touch it. Like I've seen streamers play it. It's just not for me. I put Shenmue 3 in here because it had been so long since Shenmue 1 and 2. It was it was originally on the Dreamcast was the first game, and it was like anime Grand Theft Auto that's not explicit is kind of the
Yeah.
best way I could. It was an RPG in an open world, and people clamored to get Shenmue 3. They finally got it. Nobody fucking played it. Nobody cared. It's like those games that people want Half-Life 3 so bad. If that ever comes out, I just don't think people are going to give a shit anymore. I mean, yeah, you're going to have the select Valve uh, fanboys that are
Fanboys.
just going to like no life it. And
Yeah.
good. I'm glad I'm glad you're going to finally get your thing. As someone who played Half-Life 1 and 2, liked them, I could give a shit if Half-Life 3 came out or not. And so it's kind of one of those games. Anthem, what a fucking story, dude. Like there needs to be a Netflix documentary on if BioWare gets canceled after this Saudi Arabia buyout thing and the kind of like so reviews on Dragon Age Veilguard, which it's actually a fun game. I downloaded it to try it. It's just I don't care about that storyline or anything in that world. There needs to be a Netflix documentary on BioWare and Anthem because just to fall from grace, and this really was the start of that fall from grace for them. Andromeda came out and it sucked, and so they were like, okay, well maybe it's not going to be, maybe BioWare is not dead because they're working on this thing that sounds really fucking cool, and then it comes out and it fucking sucks, and it just doesn't have anything that they promised. It's microtransaction-y. There's not any content. It's boring. The world is cool, but you can't do anything in it, and it's just those two games. It's just a moment in time that everybody remembers Anthem, and that it really took up the zeitgeist of the news of all of 2019. Um, my favorite
It
game,
really did. Yeah.
my favorite game. Oh, real quick, Disco Elysium, great game, great CRPG. Outer Worlds, I love Obsidian. Gears 5 is actually good. I like all the Gears games. I think 5 was better than 4 personally. A lot of people disagree on that, but I think 5 was better than 4. I hope Gears this I guess it's going to be a prequel to Gears 1. I hope that comes out soon. My favorite game is Death Stranding. I put this was another game that I didn't play until about a year or two ago. I put off. I tried it. I was just like, yeah, whatever, Hideo. You're artsy fartsy, and you're in your ass, and you're trying to be in your bag, and whatever. I'll see you later. I wish you still made Metal Gear. And then I finally tried it again. Got about 6 hours in. What the fuck is this? I'm not playing this. It's boring. I don't like it. And then I started seeing the trailers for Death Stranding 2 and Higgs, which is Troy Baker's character, and it just looked really cool. I'm like, so there's got to be something here, right? For this second game to look this cool, there's got to be something here. I'm so glad I gave it my time, and it is one of I played the director's cut version, and you could argue, should I even have it on my favorite of 2019? Because the director's cut, I don't think came out until 21 or 22, and so I guess you could argue that, but I really think out of this list, this game is phenomenal, and there is something very deep to this story. There's a deep meaning. There's a lot of similarities in the world we live in, and I have been going down rabbit holes of religion and death and the afterlife and things like that, and maybe that's why this hit home so much for me. But this game is very cool, and I can't describe it. It's just literally one of those games I can't sell you on it. Death Stranding is not a game you can sell anybody on. They just have to play it and decide, are you going to put up with it for like I did to finally give it that chance or not? And I think a lot of people, I think you're one of those people, it's not for you, and that's totally fine. I just think if I think more people should give it a chance is what I think, because there is something there, and I just can't describe it. It's a great story. It took me a long time to make sense of it, and I actually did make sense of it after I rolled credits on Division 2, which kind of sucks. Like, you shouldn't have to put over 120 hours split between two games to really get its story. But that's just who Hideo Kojima is, and his games are beautiful. It looks great. It's running on Gorilla's what's the name of that engine for Horizon?
Oh shit. It's the
Decima
Decima
engine.
engine. Yeah.
It's
Badass engine.
and it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
Norman Reedus puts on a great performance. He's just Norman Reedus in this world. I don't even think he understands what's going on around him in real life, but his character Sam is great, and it's just, I don't know, it's a really good game. It is up its own ass, like, Tar Man and Dead Man and like all, it's just so stupid. But it's good. I love it. That was probably a poor way to explain it, but it is literally, you have to experience it, and for some you're going to, some you're not. So
I think that's what makes video games great. You just have to play it, right?
right,
Like, you can talk about it, you can describe, but you can never, like, you can describe a movie scene pretty well, and you can describe like a scene in a video game, but there's something different about sitting down and actually playing it that I think is unique. And Death Stranding is a video game. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It
yeah.
is a video game. That's something you have to sit down and experience. I will finish it. I will get to Death Stranding 1 and Death Stranding 2 one day. I just I need
There's too
I
many
need like
games.
time. I need like time off of work to do that.
I need
Like I
I need
need like
time to
a
stop.
yeah. Yeah. I just need an extended period of time to sit down and play that, because it demands your attention. Not requires it, demands it.
Yes,
It's one of
yes.
those games. So I have to be in the right mood and give it the respect it deserves to play it. But my favorite game that came out in 2019 is Apex Legends. That will be 2 battle royales that I have on my favorite games list. And I was
I
very
probably should have put
close.
that.
I was very close to picking either the Division 2 or what was the other game on here? I'm looking. Yeah, just probably the Division 2 was the other game that I put on here. But I put the Division 1. So I wanted to go with something different, and Apex is the best battle royale game. If there's a BR, Apex is better. I don't really care what anyone's opinion is. It is the movement is more fun. The gunplay is a lot more fun. It is the I mean, I'm going to say this, it is the gamers game. Like you can't, it's not quite casual enough to get your buddies that don't normally that
Right.
like play Call of Duty to get into it. Like a lot of my college buddies, like we played a lot of Warzone, and I played a lot of Warzone when it was in a good state. But I could never get them to get into Apex. It just like there was just a little bit too much gamer in Apex Legends for them to want to dive in and jump on. You have to understand more complex dynamics, how different abilities interact with others, and movement around the map is so important. And like if you're not into those things, like you're not going to be into Apex. But I think it is amazing. I could play that game. If you had to tell me you only get one BR for the rest of your life, it's Apex Legends, and I will be totally happy with that. I've been itching to get back into Apex because it's been a while now since I've played it, and I know that a lot has changed. And like every time I dive back into Apex, it's like all I can think about and play for a long time. So it's a great game. The movement is amazing. Obviously, it basically takes Titanfall 2's gunplay and movement and meshes it up with a BR. It's so cool. It's so complex. I have a lot of hours in this game, and I think it deserves a lot more love. I know it's gone through some rough patches, some rough seasons, but overall, man, I think players that play Apex, like when they go play other BRs, like if you watch streamers and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to play this today," they just want to go back and play Apex, and that's usually how I feel about it as well. But what a game!
Yeah, I mean, I probably again another game that I put the most hours into out of all these games on this list was Apex Legends. I had something like 10,000 kills as Lifeline or something crazy like that. I
Yep,
loved playing Lifeline and playing. We played it together a lot.
yep.
These games, like stuff like Apex Legends and Overwatch, another game that gets released next year like Valorant, and these hero shooters, they lose me when I just feel like they become unbalanced because you can't have all these abilities and not um nerf stuff into the ground because it just too many ideas and they don't get tested enough, and the way to get it tested is have the community use it, and then the developers like, shit, that is kind of overpowered. And so I don't like these hero shooters that just once I think it was Loba or whatever her name was, once she got added, that's when I about checked out because I was like, it's becoming just there's too much shit, and she was super overpowered when she came out, and um everybody was playing as her. I love Apex Legends, and I think it is my favorite BR would be PUBG. But I think I get why people would pick Apex. Like it's uh you want that fast paced Call of Duty feel, but you want to be able to feel like a badass and feel different than your other person because you're able to. That's the good thing about hero shooters, right? Is you're able to be different than your teammate and synergize and work together toward a common goal. So yeah, Apex is great.
It's also the best competitive BR. Like if you watch like the Apex Legends, um, World Championships or whatever they call it, like anytime that's on, I tune in to watch. They are incredibly entertaining. It's just
It's so fast paced.
and you have to find loot on the ground, which is what a BR is.
Yes,
Like with this
yes.
fucking Warzone stuff where you just like go to get your loadout,
I don't like
and
that.
no, you need to play with what you find on the ground. That's
Yep,
what BRs are.
you start with nothing, and that's why I like PUBG because it literally is skill over everything at that point.
Yeah, it's just God. It's so good. I just looked at my Steam, and like I have probably triple the time that I have on Steam on console, and I have like over 100 hours, and I have well over that on PlayStation because that's where I played for a
Yeah.
majority of the time. And God, man, what a great game!
When's the last time you played it?
It was probably on Steam. Can I see the last time I logged in? Last played, oh my God, August 12th, 2024. So a
August
while
of
ago.
24. Okay.
Yeah, August of 24.
Over a year
So
ago.
I'm ripe to jump back in here, because I think before that I had taken like 6 months off and came back. But yeah, I mean, I probably will reinstall and see what's up, because I'm sure it's in a good state. I mean, let's see what it looks like on Twitch. I was actually I do this every now and then just for fun, just to see like what games people are the most interested in. It's not really a reflection of how many people are playing those games, but like right now, if I open up the Just Browse Twitch, I've got, Arc Raiders is at 82K viewers, which is great. It's above Fortnite right now. It's above Tarkov. It's above Rainbow Six, right? Like these games that are consistent, that consistently bring in some really good numbers. It is Apex Legends. Yeah, not that great. It's only got 10.4K viewers, so
That's
it's
still
lower
more
than
than I
Marvel
thought.
Rivals. Yeah, it's I wonder what state it's in. I'm really disconnected with the community, but I will tell you, man, Overwatch 2 is making a big resurgence here. I
Hmm.
think it's got more viewers than Marvel Rivals, which is the biggest game that it's competing with. And I went in and just played a couple matches the other day just to try out my graphics card. God, man, that game is just like mental crack. It's so good.
Gooner games, man, they're the future.
Yeah. All right. That was 2019. Now we step into the world of COVID-19 of 2020. Wow, what a time. Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Doom Eternal, Resident Evil 3 Remake, Watch Dogs Legion, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Red Dead Online, important release, Neo 2, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Black Ops Cold War, Demon Souls Remake, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remake, and Valorant. Bangers this year. The first, so you've got Cyberpunk, Last of Us, Ghost, Final Fantasy, and Doom Eternal. Those games right there are all incredible, and all I think are and Assassin's Creed Valhalla
Yeah.
is really good as well. I mean, any of those games, I think if they're your game of the year, that's totally cool. I mean, any game of the year that you have is your game of the year, that's fine. But I just think all of these games, you could make a strong argument for being the best game released that year. I obviously have mine. It's probably not going to be a surprise to anybody if you've been listening to the show for a while what my game is. But it easily could have been Cyberpunk or Final Fantasy, which I really enjoyed, man. I remember where I was that year.
Yep.
Obviously, COVID.
It's when this podcast started.
It's when the
we're
it's
only
when the it's yeah
we're only on
it's when the
episode 33.
well, we took a hiatus, but we're back, baby. Yeah, this is just it's a great year. Ghost of Tsushima is great. Final Fantasy is great. Doom Eternal is great. Red Dead Online, I had fun with. I played that for a little bit, not too much there. And obviously Valorant is great too. I really enjoy Valorant. I still will jump in. It's on consoles now, and I think you played a little bit of it when it released on consoles. I think it was this year, or it might have been last year. I don't know. Time is a.
I think I did.
Do you play any on console? I played on console.
I can't remember if I did. I played a lot of Valorant when it first released. I was a Jet main, and then they nerfed her into the ground. And then once again, like I said, these hero shooters, Valorant has like over 20 something fucking heroes now. It's insane, and it's like that's just too much. And that's supposed to be a competitive FPS. Like it's a hero Counter Strike is what
Yep.
it is, and it's I don't know. It just became way too unbalanced for me.
It's too much for me at this time. Like I don't have enough. I mean, I probably do have the time, but it's one of those games that it's like the only game that you play. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like,
yeah.
what do you play? Oh, I played Valorant, and that's the game you play, right? And I have
League of Legends stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, those no lifer games where like if you want to become really good at them, that's pretty much all you're going to be able to play for a long time. But what do you have to say about 2020?
Man, it's kind of crazy. I mean, obviously, this is when the pandemic kicked off. It's named because it was discovered in 2019. It became a virus, global pandemic in 2020. It's so you're like, man, it's kind of crazy. That so many good games got released this year, but they were probably all pretty much done.
Mhm.
Demon Souls remake, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake. Two memories I have very fondly with each of those games originally. I probably would have picked Demon Souls remake had I not played the shit out of the original and playing. And I didn't play the original when it first came out. I played it after I beat Dark Souls 2, I think. When I beat Scholar of the First Sin, I went back and played Demon Souls. But, remakes, I'm not going to I don't think I have any remakes picked as my favorite game. They're great. And you could argue that Resident Evil 3 remake is better than the original Resident Evil 3. Demon Souls remake is better than the original Demon Souls. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 are great. I really wanted to go with either Last of Us Part 2 or Ghost of Tsushima. But, when these consoles launched, I only got a Series X at first. And so I got Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS or the Series X. Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, I played on the PS4 earlier that year. And so when Cyberpunk came out, I played it and it had, the bugs and everything that it did, but it was still a playable experience from start to finish. And I finished it and I was like, okay. And then, as I told you earlier, I've been going back for the platinum. Dude, this game, my God, like the content, the RPG elements to it, the gunplay. It's like, if you put them side by side, it'd be like, okay, let's see this medieval fantasy game that's third person action adventure. Look at the shooting in this first person game. That's just the same team. You'd be like, what? Because most teams can't do that. When they try and branch out and do something different, it's just so far out of their element that it's just not good. And it got better over time, but the gunplay for the most part has felt about the same. Just the frames and the performance got better. I cannot say enough good things about Cyberpunk 2077. It is one of my favorite game worlds to be a part of. I love my wife to death, but I would drop kick her in the face for Pan Am. I think most gamers would. Joke, I wouldn't do that. But yes, Cyberpunk is the shit. Whether you go female or male V, I don't think you can go wrong. Both are voiced very well. Obviously, Keanu Reeves' performance in this game is phenomenal.
Stellar. Yeah.
Idris Elba's performance in the DLC is so good in Phantom Liberty. I haven't had this much fun with an RPG since like Fallout 3 and all its DLCs. Like it's a lot of fun. So yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is my favorite game of 2020.
Yeah, Cyberpunk's an incredible game. Incredible universe. So cool, so creative. Every time I jump in to play it, I can't believe that it's a video game. It's just so insanely detailed, so insanely cool. Characters are awesome. The world is super sick. It's like, it's just great. Cyberpunk's awesome. But my favorite game, I don't think this is going to be a surprise, is The Last of Us Part 2. I think this is like, a top 3 game of all time for me. So good, start to finish. The story is amazing. We have still on, if you're listening to this, you can go back and listen to our like spoiler cast review discussion, which is probably, I think it's like 3 hours long or something like that. I mean, we dive deep into the game, and it would be fun to revisit at some point, because I've played it in the last year and a half. There's just nothing like it. It's so great. It's so well crafted. The combat's like better in every single way. The story is all like, yeah, it's just great. It's damn near perfect. Some of the story, I think part of my issue with the game, if I have any, is
that unnecessary sex scene when Abby's getting railed out that nobody needed to see that, like that one.
Yeah, that's definitely up there.
So
it's a little
out of
strange.
pocket.
You're like, why are we doing this? Like, I don't. Yeah, why do we need to see this? But my biggest complaint would just be the momentum shift between playing and spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2. I'll wait a second. When you switch from playing as Ellie to Abby, the game just screeches to a halt, and it takes like another 3 or 4 hours to feel like it revs back up to the place where you have enough abilities, and like Abby's stronger, so you can fist fight people and whatnot. So the gameplay variety is there. It just fucking halts, and it feels like you're just trying to race to get back to where the story ultimately goes. But that's my only critique. It's somewhat minor, because even in the Switch, like, the game is so good. But yeah, The Last of Us Part 2, stellar.
I played through the remaster remake. What if I don't wouldn't call it a remake, but
Whatever it is.
that's what
Yeah.
they call it. But
Yeah.
for the PS5, and that's my biggest complaint is the pacing of the game. And I probably would have had it. I had a lot more fun because it is not a fun game. It is so
No.
depressing.
Yeah.
It is. I had it spoiled for me like the week before, so that thing that happens
Sucks.
quite early in the game. I had it. Did you have it spoiled for you?
Nope.
And
I stayed off of socials for like 2 weeks.
I tried, and it was on like a Reddit post of something non-video game related, and it was like I this is not what it was, but it was like cooking, and it was like, well, yeah, you gotta do it for like 20 seconds. Oh, by the way, Abby kills Joel in The Last of Us, and I'm like,
So dumb.
are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And or it was just, oh, spoiler alert, Joel dies, and I was like, so I knew that was coming, and I guess the algorithm caught it because I saw another thing that kind of confirmed it. And I was like, motherfucker. And so maybe I would have had a different opinion had I not gone into it with like, when's it going to happen? Because I wasn't really in that world. I had already knew it was coming. And so I was like, well, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Oh, it's right here. And I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch? And so it just put me off because I had a spoiler. I wasn't playing the game they wanted me to play. And it is a great game. And it just wasn't a fun time. And I adore that game. I adore that story. I don't have any complaints of Abby like a lot of people did. I think she's a badass. I would like more if they did Last of Us 3. I don't think they should continue this story at all. Leave it alone. And you can't call it Last of Us without having these characters. The only other thing I would want to see is like from the minute Joel's daughter dies to the minute he meets Ellie. I want to see that story. Going through tests, going through those 20 years. I would like to see that. I don't care what happens to Ellie anymore. I think it's good. I like when books and stories, movies, leave it up to the interpretation. Inception. Did the top fall or not? You know, that's your own interpretation. I may
Right.
think that he was dreaming. You may think that he wasn't, but I like just leave it alone. Leave it at that. And I don't know. Like, I don't want Last of Us Part 3. I really don't. And I think that we're going to get it because of this fucking TV show.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get The Last of Us Part 3. I'll be interested to see where they try to take the story. I think you have to really kind of shift things a bit, but we'll see. I'm open to it. I think
Do you
I think
think,
if anybody
sorry, I was going to say, do you think if Heretic Prophet or whatever is going to suffer because they're going to be pressured to hurry up and finish this so they can start work on Last of Us 3?
no.
No?
No.
See, I think we could be. I don't know. We haven't seen anything,
I
so I'm curious of what that game is, and I'm worried that somebody is going to make Neil not give us what that game could be. You know what I mean?
I think Neil has so much power at this point internally with Sony that he will not allow himself to not give this new game
What it deserves.
all of his attention. I
That's
mean,
fair.
I think that's a large part of the reason that he dropped out of The Last of Us kind of part two, like the TV show HBO. He took a smaller role on certain things because I think he knows that this next game is huge for Naughty Dog. I think this thing is going to be absolutely incredible. Like I can't wait to see what this game is and what they do. It's in space. It's so different from what they've done. I think it's going to be really gameplay oriented. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what it feels like. I'm like hype level for me for Intergalactic is like 12 out of 10. Like I can't wait to see what they do with that game. I think it's going to be a smash hit. I think the actress that they have playing the lead is awesome. Like there's just so much good stuff there. But let's move on here. All right, costume change. We're recording this on a different day if you're watching the video. I don't even know, I probably was wearing this sweatshirt on that
I
day.
believe you were naked. If I
Damn,
remember correctly.
man. Okay, well, I will have to go back and edit a sweatshirt on me, I guess.
Yeah, finish it in post.
Yeah. All right. We left off at 2020. We're picking right back up at 2021. Resident Evil Village, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, It Takes Two, Far Cry 6, Halo Infinite, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Hitman 3, Forza Horizon 5, Deathloop, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Battlefield 2042, Psychonauts 2, Returnal, Back for Blood, Outriders, Valheim,
Valheim.
Monster Hunter Rise, Diablo 2 Remaster, Mario Golf Super Rush, and New World.
Probably the weakest year of this whole 21 years that we've done, I would say. Would you agree
It's
with that?
Yeah, it's one of the weaker years, and here's why. Back for Blood was really hyped. I think when that came out, I was so excited to jump in. I bought it. Man, that what a nothing burger of a game that turned out to be. It just
Yeah.
didn't hook me at all. I was I was so looking forward to this game, but it completely it just kind of completely missed the mark for me.
And that was a bunch of the ex Left 4 Dead devs, right? Like
Yes.
a bunch of the creators, they went out and made their own studio. I played it. I liked it. I don't know. Maybe it was a sign of the times that Left 4 Dead was able to exist in this echo chamber of be just different enough from like Call of Duty and
Yep.
things that were Halo that were popular at the time. Now it's like people don't want that experience, I feel like, because it really didn't feel to me that much different from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, it felt similar in I think all of the good ways that Left 4 Dead did, but I think it was just the gameplay loop and like they had that hub area where you would go back to and like you like bought all of these like there was like a currency in the game that felt a little weird to me. Like it was just a little
Yeah.
bit disjointed. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll pick it back up because it is a game that like on paper I should really like and like a game that I'm actually kind of looking forward to play. So maybe I'll pick it back up and see how it lands. But yeah, it just was a swing and a miss for me.
It's so weird to me that Far Cry 6 was 2021. It does not feel like it was 4 years, almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And like some of these games, Marvel's, I just couldn't get into Guardians of the Galaxy. I like what they did. I thought it was probably better than what was the Suicide Squad game
Yep.
that came out.
Yeah, Marvel
Village.
that game like reviewed really well. Guardians of Marvel, the Guardians of the
It was
Galaxy.
fun. Did you play it? Did you
I,
play any of it?
I didn't. I think was it on? It might have been on PlayStation Plus. Like I might have it in my catalog. I do want to get to it. It's on my backlog of games. It looks kind of fun.
I played it on. I want to say it was PC Game Pass, but that it might have been like a PS5 uh, Essentials tier game. I honestly can't remember. Village is probably the strongest game out of all these. Resident Evil Village.
What about
More kind
Returnal?
of okay, so that's a sleeper game that I have yet to finish. I really like it.
Me too.
They've got that. We got Game Awards tonight, and that new game, Soros or something like that.
Oh
It's
yeah,
kind of
which looks basically just like Returnal, but with like a little bit of different stuff.
any Housemark, bullet hell kind of thing. Diablo 2 remaster was cool. This was a weird year. We're at the ass end of COVID.
Yep.
I was working a ton because I was out a lot of 2020 for shoulder surgery, and so I needed to catch up on work. And I mean, obviously, we got to talk about New World for a second.
Yeah.
That was just a flash in the pan. I was like, you didn't play it on launch, I did, and I remember the queues, and it took forever to get in, and it was this. Oh, this is it. I think it was just everybody was kind of tired of WoW. People went over to Final Fantasy 14. It really didn't pay off. And now all the MMO fans for the last 25 years are here. This is the next. It was the biggest MMO launch probably since, I don't know, something like Guild Wars 2 or Final Fantasy 14. And then now the studio is closing down and the game servers are going to die. I think last night there were 1,200 people playing New World on Steam.
Wow. It's just so sad. I mean, that probably would have been my game of the year if I knew that it wasn't dead, because I played a lot of it and I was gearing up for the expansion that dropped that looked insanely cool. Like vampires, like, I mean, it looked really, really neat, really creative. Was really looking forward to living in that world for a little bit. But again, I saw the news and I just didn't want to. And I've had such a good time with New World, but it has a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. It's a shame. I wish they could keep it going. It was huge. I mean, it was Amazon's big game, right? Like it was
Yeah.
their big entry into the gaming sphere in a way that like a game that actually was going to catch the zeitgeist and people were going to play. And it's a shame because I think the studio did such a good job with the game. I mean, obviously it's very different than it was back then, but I remember all the big streamers were playing it. It didn't matter if you were an MMO streamer or whatever. That game had a ton of eyes on it. So it's just sad to see. It's sad to see. I think that if any game was primed for somewhat of a revival, I think that game could do it. It has the combat system is great. The story and overhaul that they did there is awesome, and it's on console now. So it's just yeah, there's no reason really with crossplay and everything else that game couldn't have got the revival, but they must have seen the numbers on the back end and said no way. I don't know. It
You
sucks.
mentioned the word you mentioned the word revival twice. Why don't you we both picked the same for our favorite game of this year. Why don't you start? What was our favorite game of 2021?
Halo Infinite, and I think
Xbox
there's
fans, chill out. We picked an Xbox game. We like an Xbox game. We picked a Halo game. All that shit we got. There it is.
yeah, I love Infinite. I think it's a great game. I did not play the story, couldn't care less.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
but that multiplayer felt like Halo. It felt so good on controller. I know that there were issues with people I think that played on mouse and keyboard at the beginning. I don't know, you probably played mouse and keyboard, right?
I did, and that was they just kind of fixed that. Like I think like last year or something like that. It was so bad because I mean, Halo is a controller game. Like I swapped to playing it on controller because that's what we all grew up playing on the 360 when we were playing Halo 2 and 3 and all these games. And even the Master Chief Collection when that came out and the terrible mess that was, I played it on controller on an Xbox One. But yeah, it sucked really bad on mouse and keyboard, and it is very smooth and fluid now. And Infinite's in an amazing spot, and nobody's playing it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think it's in a great spot. I think there are certain things that have been in a great spot the entire time. I think the game feels great. I think you can complain about sprint. Sprint is annoying in Halo games. I don't know. I don't come down hard on sprint or no sprint. I know there are people who like, Halo is meant to be more of an arena style shooter where you move at one speed and don't have the ability to sprint. I get that. Modern games, it's just kind of a standard now. If you play a game without sprint, it feels a little weird to new players. Regardless of all of that, I think the gunplay feels like Halo. I think the sound, like they nailed so much of what it's like to play Halo multiplayer in this game. Like it is up there with me for Halo 2, I think, for best Halo multiplayer. Like it is just so good. And no
I
one's
agree.
playing it. And I think a large part of the reason is because they didn't put a fucking BR in the game. And I know everyone's going to fucking whine and moan and complain. That game literally launched during the height of all BRs, and everyone was tired of what they were playing. And if Halo launched with a competent or half competent BR, I think that game would still be a lot more relevant today. I get it. I know I don't want BRs in every game either. I like my arena shooters to stay that way, but Halo is primed for a BR. It should have come out with a BR. And regardless of all of that, I think it's still the best game that I played that year. I mean, I put a lot of hours into it. I grinded ranked. It was an absolute joy for me to play stem to stern. I streamed it for months. And like I have my first TikTok clips ever of me playing Halo. I was obsessed with that game. Like I really loved
Yeah.
it. And yeah, Xbox, you got us,
Yeah, the battle rifle was the only BR in that game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Infinite. The shooting, I thought, to me personally, um, for the story, I've always said this, right? Like I think Gears is the better series. I think Microsoft had a gem in Gears of War, and wish they didn't really kind of Cliffy B didn't get kind of forced out of the picture, and who knows what that could have been. But I like all Gears 1 through 5. I think they're good games. But for multiplayer games, yeah, it's Halo, and Infinite felt. I was like, wow. okay, they cooked because
Yeah.
they became, Bungie left, and then it was 343, and then now they're Halo Studios, right? Isn't that what they're called now?
Halo, yeah, Halo Studios
Halo Studios. They changed their name because nobody liked 343 because they literally named themselves after
after the villain.
the villain, and so, um, they should have just been Master Chief Studios or something, but or Cortana, or I don't know. I liked it. The shooting felt good. I like the announcers. It was kind of like a throwback to felt. I mean, all of them kind of have it, but just M41 Spanker and all that. Like it was
Yeah.
just cool. I
Yeah,
like Halo.
41 Spanker.
Yeah, that was good. But it's always and then it's like the teen voice too. M41 Spanker.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man,
Halo
Halo's
Infinite's a
great.
good game. And if you haven't played it in a while, I suggest booting it up. I downloaded and played a few matches a couple of weeks ago, and it's in a really good spot. Um, they've got a lot of maps, a lot of the creation and player driven content and things like that. Uh, it's a good game. It's a good multiplayer game.
I think that they should take that and make that their game as a service. Make Halo Infinite and
Yeah.
that multiplayer, make that their game as a service, and add multiplayer updates to that alongside the new Halo, which is single player. Like I think creating more of a Fortnite style game as a service where the game builds and builds and builds, and you have content from your community, you have curated content coming out from you consistently, and you can expand and try different things within the Halo universe. I think that is what they should do, and then they should launch their main Halo titles separately. Um, but I don't know. That's just me. Microsoft's listen or don't.
Too bad they're going to Unreal Engine 5, and I guarantee it ain't going to run like Arc Raiders. So,
Yeah, yeah. I that much I can guarantee. All right, on to 2022. We have God of War Ragnarok, Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, Callisto Protocol, Dying Light 2, Overwatch 2, Sifu, Ghostwire Tokyo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Gran Turismo 7, Pentiment, and V Rising. I'll let you walk through these games first, because a couple of them I particularly like, and I know you like a good amount of them too.
yeah, great year. Kind of when this was one of those kind of like, oh shit, gaming's back, because we went through 2020 that had a ton of games, but nothing like boom, you know what I mean, in your face. And then you get God of War Ragnarok and Elden Ring and Forbidden West all within like the first quarter. I think
Yep.
they all three were out. Like I think Forbidden West came out in February. Elden Ring was March, maybe.
Let me see.
Maybe Ragnarok was at the end of the year, but I know Elden Ring and Forbidden West were out very early. There is one game on this list that is super cool that I played from start to finish. I beat. I really liked it. I didn't think I would. I got it on PlayStation Plus, I think. Stray. Stray is a very cool game. It's very atmospheric. For those that don't know, you play as a cat, and it's in like a post-apocalyptic where humans are all dead and all that's left are robots and cats, and you kind of just navigate through the remnants of society as this cat, and it's platforming and it's puzzle solving, and it's very atmospheric, and it's got a pretty neat little story to it when you pay attention to it. I like Stray. That's the shout out game. I just started V Rising on PlayStation, and that game is freaking awesome. I quit because I was like, oh, this is a lot deeper than I thought. I thought we're kind of dealing with some Diablo with survival elements, and it's a lot deeper mechanics RPG than I thought. So I took time off of that. Ragnarok, amazing game. I plan on finishing it. Hopefully, I'm wanting snow on the ground. I wanted be in that mood to really go back to that and finish that. But I put over 260 hours in my only playthrough in Elden Ring. Got the platinum trophy. Did the DLC last year. I don't have enough good things to say about Elden Ring. I'm a huge From Software simp, and it's one of the best open world, if not the best. It's probably top 2 for me open world RPGs of all time.
Yeah, I mean that's your obvious choice, I think, for you. For it's like got to be in your top 5 favorite games of all time, right?
I don't know about top 5. It's definitely top 10.
Okay.
I have some games that'll never move off that top 5 list, like Resident Evil 4 is always going to be in there somewhere. Witcher 3, and probably either Super Mario Brothers 3 or Mega Man 2 would always be in that. And then Last of Us, I think. Um, yeah, my top 5 list is pretty like immovable, but 10 I'm always willing to, okay, you can go away. But it's definitely it's high top 10. I'll say
High
that.
top 10. Yeah. I mean, it's a great game. I actually looked on, I think I played it on PlayStation. I looked the other day just to see how many hours. I think I had like 10 to 15 hours in it. It's a great game. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's incredible. I just need to like be in the mood to learn a From Software game. And I just have not been in that mood to get my shit kicked in.
Personally, Bloodborne. I prefer Bloodborne over Elden Ring.
Mm,
Just because it's more of I'm such a Castlevania freak and like that dark gothic aesthetic. Elden Ring's cool, but I prefer Bloodborne.
yeah. Yeah. I hear that. I need to play Bloodborne. I have a lot of games I need to play. For me, a couple standouts from this list. One is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I put a lot of hours into that game, believe it or not.
Great game.
I have that on the Switch. It's fucking awesome. I play that all the time when I'm on flights. If I'm just hanging around the house, that's a game that I'll throw on. I love those side-scrolling beat 'em ups. Always have loved beat 'em ups. Grew up on them, so they're very nostalgic to me, and
It's
I
such
really
a
like playing
love
them.
letter to like Turtles in Time and the
Yep.
arcade version. It's so good. If you haven't played it, if you're a Turtles fan, that's a must play.
Yeah, I would say even if you're not a Turtles fan, if you just love beat 'em ups, it's so good.
Have you
Um,
played that new game that's out this year that's like that? That's the Marvel one. What is that?
it's on my list. I'm gonna buy it. Yeah, it's I don't know what it is, but it's almost like the old arcade cabinet X-Men game. Like
Yeah,
it has that style to it. You can choose two characters. Yeah, no, I was watching people play it the other day, and I was like,
looks cool.
oh my god, I'm like, this
Yeah,
is
looks cool.
I would love to play this. But the other game I want to talk about a little bit here before I get to my favorite game is Overwatch 2. Overwatch is great. If you haven't played Overwatch, what are you doing? Play the game, try
Two.
it out. Yeah, 2, 1.5, really. They just changed the format from 6v6 to 5v5, added some new heroes. The game is still, I mean, if you play that game, it's incredibly balanced. It feels fucking fun. The moment to moment gameplay is great. It's just I adore Overwatch. I think it's awesome. It's a game that you can play for a long time. You get to learn all of the different characters and what counters what, and it's just a blast. Like there's so many hours and hours that I played of that game, but I have to give my game of the year to Horizon Forbidden West. It takes everything that Horizon did well and does it way better. It's bigger. The enemies are more interesting to fight. It's also probably still top 3 most beautiful game I've ever played in my life. It is gorgeous and it runs so well on PS5. I mean, it's a must play if you enjoy open world role playing games, or if you've played the first and haven't played the second. Got to play it. It's awesome. Can't recommend it enough.
That's all. I mean, I it's like I said, that's gonna be. I think I'm gonna be like 55 one day and be like, man, I really wish I gave Horizon the love that I did, because I'm worried that I'm never gonna go back and play that. I need to replay the first one before I do that, and I have it on PC. I got it like when it was on sale on Steam on a winter sale, I think 2 years ago. Um, but I just something about it. And Forbidden West is gorgeous. It looks great, and like it's great. It makes sense that to me, the most beautiful game I ever played is probably Death Stranding 2 on the beach, and yours is Forbidden West because they're the same engine,
Yeah.
and so it makes sense.
I mean, that engine is incredible, man. It makes things run. It runs really well, but it also what they do with lighting and foliage, it's awesome. I mean, you feel like you are playing in a living, breathing world. And it's funny. I was thinking about all of my games of the year, and which games I would really want to jump back in and play right now. And this one's probably top of the list for me, honestly. I could dive into some Horizon again. Gameplay's so fun. All right. Anything else to say about 2022?
I think I'm ready to move on.
Let's keep rolling. 2023. You get Spider-Man 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Baldur's Gate 3, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Alan Wake 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Dead Space Remake, Starfield, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Final Fantasy 16. Oh man, I might have to, no. Mortal Kombat 1, Lies of P, Diablo 4, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Counter-Strike 2, Outlast Trials, Immortals of Avium, Wulong, Fallen Dynasty, Lords of the Fallen Reboot, The Finals, Red Flop, I mean Red Fall. Ready, Ready or Not, Sea of Stars, and Octopath Traveler 2. This is a
Woo!
stacked year. This is a
Gaming is back,
stacked
baby.
year. I mean,
Think about it. This is probably when it felt like, we've just been nonstop, and there's just that's why our backlogs are so big, is because this fucking year and last year and this year, it's nuts.
it's crazy. Like Hogwarts Legacy, I put like 25-30 hours. Great game. Never finished it. Spider-Man 2, I finished. Baldur's Gate 3, I essentially finished. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Tears of the Kingdom, fucking Final Fantasy 16. That game is incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's so unbelievably
Probably
good.
one of the best action adventure games I've ever played.
Yeah. The boss battles, like the music, it's just pure video game awesomeness,
The active, I think you said this in a podcast once, the active lore in that game is something that I wish other games would put in. I think you said that a few podcasts back.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't know, like, you could just pause a cutscene and what the fuck are they talking about? Because it's all these, because it's every Final Fantasy is its own story. And this one's so in depth because Yoshi P made this insane world that's like, the story literally sounds like a George R. R. Martin novel, and you can just pause it and read about everything, and it's as deep as you want to take it. Where it falls flat, performance, and combat variety from from even something like the Rebirth and Remake were so good at their action combat. This was just like Devil May Cry, so it didn't feel so RPG. Yeah, but it's still an amazing game.
Yeah, it definitely feels more action oriented than it doesn't have any of like the turn-based style stuff that Final Fantasy Rebirth or Remake does, but it's great.
It's probably my third favorite mainline Final Fantasy game.
Yeah,
it's good. It's probably second behind 6. Final Fantasy 6 is my favorite. 7 is probably third now because 16 is so good.
Yeah, it's so that's another game that I would go back and play. Honestly, I've been kind of itching to play that too. I see it every once in a while. The game is awesome. Super great. What other games? The Finals. God, I've talked about the Finals a ton. I don't think there's anything more I can say about it other than I think it's the best FPS on the market. But this is another one. I'll kick it to you since we both have the same game of the year, and I talked about Halo first this time. Take it away. What's our favorite game of the year?
Well, our favorite game of the year, I mean, no surprise. And I think I'm wondering if we're going to both fall in the same camp for game of the year this year. We kind of fell in 2023. We fell with the majority rules. Baldur's Gate 3. I'm a huge Forgotten Realms fan. The Legend of Drizzt, one of my favorite characters in all of literature and high fantasy, I guess. I'm a huge sucker for high fantasy, anything high fantasy. I'm a sucker for. I love Lord of the Rings and all the things that Tolkien kind of started that Dungeons and Dragons built upon. And so what Larian did to continue a story, or not continue a story, but to continue using the same characters. The first 2 games were made by 2 completely separate companies. The first one was Baldur's Gate 1 was BioWare. The second, Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Am, I think was Obsidian with members of Interplay, I believe. And then to continue that work and do their own spin on it, it just works. Sorry, Todd Howard, not a shot at you, but one of the best RPGs. I think there's something like 400 different types of endings or some weird, crazy amount. I'm like you. I did finish it. I finished it once. I want to go back and I'm playing it. I'm currently that is one of the other games I'm playing is Baldur's Gate 1 because I'm just kind of like slowly skimming through RPGs and stuff like that. But man, that game is a mile deep and a mile wide. That's up there is like if you were the old question of if you were in prison or if you could only have one game to play the rest of your life, what would you pick? And Baldur's Gate 3 would probably be on that list because the possibilities are endless. it's a CRPG. A lot of people aren't going to like that, those top down or isometric type of games. But I don't know, man. Like this year was insane. Counter Strike 2. I'm just mad that they didn't include like the maps that the community came up with, and Lies
Yeah.
of P, probably the best Souls-like game I've ever played. Like a game that's not made by FromSoft, Lies of P is that. If you want that type of experience with quality and gameplay, go play Lies of P. And it's one of the best games I've ever played. Um, Wolong, if you want a Souls-like with super hard difficulty, Wolong Fallen Dynasty is good. Um, I'm with you, man. There's tons of games on here I have, but haven't even touched. I have Octopath Traveler 2, haven't played it. I have Hogwarts Legacy, haven't played it. I have Spider-Man 2, haven't played it. I started it, and I was just like, there's just too much shit.
Yeah.
And RE4 remake, golly, did they do it justice? It is so good. There's a couple enemies that they left out. There's a boss fight in particular that's not in it. That's kind of disappointing. Uh, but in the grand scheme of things, uh, great remake. Tears of the Kingdom was good, just more tears or just more. I think that art style's done, man. It's like they're now gonna have what, 4 games in that art style or some shit.
Oh God, let it
That's cell
go,
shaded, yeah.
please, Jesus, I fucking hate the way that game looks. Drives me crazy. I just don't
It,
like it. It's not attractive to my eye.
I get why they did it, because they had all this DLC that they were like, this is too big for DLC, so let's make it. But it's like there's never been, other than Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, there's never been a Zelda game that looked like the previous version. And so I don't know. And now we're getting that Hyrule. You had Hyrule Warriors, and now you're getting another like game where Zelda is the playable character, and it's still in that art style, right? That's coming, isn't it?
I think
Another
so.
thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I shout out to Starfield. Not a bad game. Too much hate. Some of it's deserved. It's not as good as Fallout 4, but it's not as bad as people made it seem to be, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, my game of the year of that
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Mine too. I mean, I think you nailed it. It's amazing. Like, there's endless opportunities. You can pretty much do what you want to do.
You never have to fight if you don't want to.
Yeah, you can avoid most fights. It's just it's really cool. The stuff that they allow you to do in the game and the conversations you have, the situations you get in. It's unlike anything else I've ever played. It was my introduction to CRPGs. I played it both on PS5 and on PC. I bounced back and forth. That was awesome and effortless. I just had to save, and if I saved, I could pick it up downstairs on my PlayStation. I played a lot of hours on both. I have hundreds of hours in the game. It's super cool. Play it. I think you'll really like it if you like D&D, or if you like if you want to learn a new RPG.
I also want to say, give this a shout out because, um, not trying to be woke, internet, but one of probably the strongest female performances as a whole uh, in any video game I've played. Like the voice actress that's Karlach,
Oh, she's
she's
great.
amazing.
Yep.
Shadowheart is good. I forget her name, but she's if you're playing evil, you can recruit her or you can kill her if you're playing good. But she's the Drow elf female with the gray hair. She's
Oh
amazing.
man, yeah.
I forget the Githyanki girl.
Oh my god, I fucking hate her character.
But her voice actress is so
so
good.
good.
I
Yeah.
want to kill you. I want to sleep with your blood. Like some of the best like voice actresses in gaming are in Baldur's Gate 3. Like they're so good. And the males characters do good too, but man, like I will never not play a playthrough where Karlach is not in my party. She's awesome.
Karlach was not in my main party. I rolled with
You missed out.
Shadowheart. Shadowheart, who's the other God, it's been a minute. Who's a cleric?
Oh, Gale.
No, not Gale. I killed Gale. I can't.
Gale was the druid.
Yeah, Astron, right? The vampire guy.
Astarion. Yeah.
Astarion. He's also, his voice actor is awesome, dude.
Oh,
He's got
phenomenal.
Amazing lines.
Yeah, I will always like if my next playthrough is good. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but Karlach and Astarion have to be a part of that.
Yeah, I'll I'll definitely
You beat
start.
that.
I'd like to do an evil run through.
Yeah, and I think you can still be evil and have Karlach. She's just a badass that just wants to break shit
Yeah,
and
she's
smash
awesome.
things.
Her
So,
character is awesome. All right.
shout out Baldur's Gate.
Anything else for that year, Joseph, or should we move forward?
Oh God, I mean, we're getting close to the game of the year, and I think there's some games next year that are really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. 2024. This is last year. Silent Hill 2 Remake, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Black Myth Wukong, Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Star Wars Outlaws, Astrobot, Marvel Rivals, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Warhammer Space Marine 2, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Balatro, Metaphor Refantasio, Dragon's Dogma 2, Stalker 2, Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, Rise of the Ronin, Power World, Destiny 2, The Final Shape, EA Sports College Football 25. This is the first time in over 10 years that this game came back. And last but not least, everyone's game of the year, Concord. Just kidding.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, that game is awful. It really wasn't that bad, but it
It's
completely
canceled.
bombed.
Doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore.
It doesn't even, it barely existed for 2 weeks, which I don't think has ever happened before. Some really great games this year. I played, Rebirth. I played, didn't finish. Marvel Rivals. I played a ton of. Helldivers 2. I played a good amount of. I've started Metaphor, but didn't really get too far because I just played like the demo. Let me see what else. Destiny 2, The Final Shape, I played a lot of, but this was 2024 was a decent backlog year for me. I played a lot of backlog games, I think. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, I mean, there's Rebirth is awesome. Helldivers 2 obviously was like a massive overnight success, a great game, super fun. Just got kind of stale of it, I think. I don't
Right.
really know.
More samey. I think I'm sorry. I think Helldivers 1 is a better game.
Huh.
I really do. I like
Yeah.
Helldivers 1 a lot. I played so much of that on the Vita.
God, I
Yeah.
love my Vita. Great little
Uh,
device.
looking at these games, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is an amazing game, and it may not be as combat heavy, especially like if you're a fan of the industry and you're known for what Machine Games is known for. But what they were able to do with Bethesda's help and really bring Indiana Jones to life, and uh, Troy Baker, I don't think you could be Indiana Jones and not try to embody that character. And he does such a good performance of Harrison Ford that it's at times it's uncanny. I know Troy Baker so much that I hear him. You know, he's to me he's his biggest roles to me are Joel and then uh,
The
Higgs
guy
from
from
Death Stranding.
Yep.
And he's just to me, if you like I said, if you haven't played Death Stranding 1 or 2, I'm telling you, Joker, Heath Ledger Joker levels of acting with his character in that. Uh, but he does Harrison Ford justice, and it's such a fun game. I really want to go back and play it. I'd like to play the DLC that came out. They just released the Bangkok Palace DLC, where you get to wear Indy's little like checkerboard suit that he has right at the beginning of Temple of Doom, and his glasses, and just a great game. Astrobot, phenomenal game. Sony, whatever you do, don't let Team Asobi go, because I think that's who makes it. But regardless, that team is phenomenal, and that is one of the best platformers I've ever played. And I hope they keep making Astrobot games. And it's like, I think we talked about a while back about the mascot of Sony. Who would it be? And we
Mm-hmm.
kind of thought it would be Kratos. They finally got a mascot to go with Mario, and it's Astrobot. And I hope that those games continue. Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I'm not a big, even though I'm a high fantasy guy, Dragon Age fan. Not really ever been into it. I'd rather play Divinity over Dragon Age. But I know it upsetted a lot of people. Mainly, I think a lot of the fans were upset because the combat was more action oriented, like God of War. It was very similar to God of War combat. Just kind of looking at this. Uh, I put Destiny 2 in here because I wanted, we had to talk about just one last time before we put it to bed, because I don't know about you. I'm probably never going back. I'm not. Renegades kind of looks cool, but it's just when you need to lean so far into another IP to make your game good again, you don't have a good game. And if they're using Star Wars as a help keep this ship afloat, I'm out. And the final shape is amazing. And I hate that I wasn't there at launch. Went back and played it. I thought it was a good end to the story. And I kind of wish they would have just left on a high note.
Yeah, I kind of wish that they had known that Final Shape was going to be the last piece and started early development on Destiny 3. But again, I'm probably not going to play Renegades. There has been a little bug that's like, oh, you're interested in this, Kevin. Come on, look, they got kind of lightsabers in there, Kevin. How did Bungie do lightsabers, Kevin? But then there's another part of me that's like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. Like I'm done. I have to be done with Destiny for now. Wait, I will be the first person online playing Destiny 3. You know what I mean? I will be there
Same.
with bells on, but I can't with Destiny 2 right now. It's just a little too downtrodden for me. I need them to go redesign some things, have it look better. It needs a facelift big time. But as always, we love Destiny and we hate Destiny because we love Destiny. Yeah.
Yep.
Go
Real quick
for
before
it.
you give you
Yeah.
before you give yours, Rebirth. It's so, as someone who played through Final Fantasy VII, the original, so many years ago, there's a lot of stuff that I felt like, oh, this is 1-to-1, and then I went back and I replayed 7 while I was playing Rebirth, and it really is kind of a completely different game. It's a soft reboot of that game, and there are subtle changes. There are big changes, especially towards the final act of that. And I haven't completely finished it, but I know what happens. I know how this is going to end up, and on the cliffhanger for part 3. Great game, but I have mentioned how I'm not a JRPG guy. Like, Final Fantasy really is the only JRPG I like. 6 is one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. Final Fantasy 6 is amazing. To me, it's the best Final Fantasy game. Is it, help me, is Atlas, right?
Atlas, yep.
Yeah, the makers of Persona came out with this game called Metaphor ReFantazio, and I just, saw the zeitgeist echo chamber of it blowing up everywhere. It's like, okay, we'll check it out. One of the best RPGs I've ever played. The amount of choice in building your characters and who you want in your party, and the things they can do, and then it's like you're under this time constraint, but not really, but you do feel enough pressure to be like, oh, I got to get this done because I only have a few days left, right? Because there's this calendar system, and the story is really good. The voice acting, even, like, I know a lot of people don't like to play anything Japan or Japanese or JRPG in English dub. The voice acting in this is actually pretty good, and it's a fun game, man. And it's probably, as far as the definition of a Japanese role-playing game, because we'll talk about that when we get to our game of the year this year, but the definition of a JRPG, this is the best JRPG I've ever played. It comes from Japan. Its systems perform in turn-based combat, and has that kind of anime aesthetic to me. That's the definition of a JRPG, and it's the best one I've ever played. It's so good. And if you like JRPGs and you have not played Metaphor ReFantazio, I'm not a Persona guy, and I have Persona 5 Royale, and when I get caught up on it, that's what I'm going to go play, because if I like that game, I think I'm going to love Persona.
Yes, you will. I can't wait for you to get your hands on a Persona game. I think you're going to love them. They're amazing. I think the time management aspect of them is so interesting. And I think that, I mean, they're all very well voice acted, and they all have this very unique flair and style to them. And a lot of that comes down to the soundtrack and the music. The music is stellar in all of these games. Like, I don't listen to video game music very much. I listen to the Persona 4 and the Persona 5 soundtracks. They're that good. My wife knows them. Like, they're awesome.
That's awesome.
Atlas is dope. They're great. They make great games. I will play Metaphor, but I told myself I can't start Metaphor until I finish 4 and 5. So I'm still working my way through those slowly. I'm always playing them in the background. I'll play a couple hours here and there.
They're
They're
huge,
awesome.
right? They're massive. Like, I mean,
Oh
Metaphor
yeah,
took forever. I think I put 79 hours in, and I still hadn't completely rolled credits. Um, yeah, I think like Persona 5, you can take up to like 200 hours or something in that game.
Persona 5 is like 100 to 120 hours, I think. I mean, if you want to see everything and go through a guide, which is how I started my Persona 5 run through, I have like 40, 50 hours in that game, and I don't even know if I've really scratched the surface. So I mean it how they set the stories up, like they can go on for kind of as long as they want, just given how they set each specific dungeon up, right? But I mean, it's great. You're gonna love Persona 5.
Nice.
That is a phenomenal video game. My favorite game of the year is Marvel Rivals.
Gooner. No, I'm just kidding.
I put kind of I put I know an ungodly amount of hours in Marvel Rivals. It's about all I played for 3-4 months at a time. I bounce back and forth between playing on my PC and playing on PS5. I played with friends. I love Overwatch. I love hero shooters, or like team hero shooters, like Overwatch style. I even played the ripoff that was made from shoot. It's called Paladins. I even played
Oh
Paladins for a
yeah,
while.
yeah.
That's how much I love these style games. Like they're just really fun. They unlock something in my brain. But Marvel Rivals came to the scene, and it was everything that Overwatch wasn't at the time. It was not balanced. It was chaos because there were 6 players. There's a big difference between 6v6 and 5v5. A big adding one extra player makes a large difference.
Right.
And I liked what they did with like the battle pass and the different things that you could get. The skins were always great. Like they just did a really good job keeping players engaged. They were quick to make changes when things got incredibly outbalanced, and they just did such a good job with Marvel Rivals. I could not play anything else. It's all I could think about. I just wanted to get on and grind Marvel Rivals. So I have a ton of love for that game. I think it's one of the best multiplayers to come out in a while. I haven't played it in a minute, honestly, and I think the reason for that is just I got burnt on it because I played so much of it. I feel like it's a game I'll go back to in a year, and there'll be so much new content that I'll get swept in for another 200 plus hours. But it's it's a staple, and I think the third person aspect brings something really unique to it as well, because you can actually see your character skins on like Overwatch, where you have this like cool design and you only see them at the start and at the end. It's cool stuff, man. It's cool, and I think it made Overwatch better because of it too. Like Overwatch is probably in the best state it's been in arguably ever right now, and it's because Rivals
Competition.
pushed them.
Yeah, 100%. And I was gonna say I haven't played Overwatch in at least 2 years, probably. And to me, this game is better than
Mm.
Overwatch.
A lot of people think so.
I just don't have the capacity to. I don't know. It's so something about it. It's just like a lot of these online games, like Arc Raiders and things like that. I'm playing solo because I don't have my schedules don't align with my friends that play games, and so it's hard to me. Like that's I need 4 other dudes, 5 other dudes to or chicks, whatever. Um, yeah, honey, you heard me. I need 5 other chicks. Um, but I need people that I know that I can communicate with to do that type of game. Or it just gets so frustrating in casuals and pub groups that I don't like playing those games in public with public settings, and then I'm not going to play it in ranked solo. And so those games kind of just they're awesome. I just don't play them because I don't have the team. But it's good to know that Overwatch is because I loved Overwatch. I love anything Blizzard art style. I'm as much as they piss me off, their art style is amazing, and their art team has always done phenomenal. And so I love Overwatch. And maybe I'll get back to it one day. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think, and it's crazy that a NetEase game. Yeah, there's a ton of cash options in the skin, and they knew what they were doing, and it's making hand over fist in skins.
Yep.
But it's crazy that a NetEase game, there is no pay to win mechanic whatsoever in this, and it's they delivered such a quality product. When you have something like Diablo Immortals or Destiny Rising and some of these other games that they own that are more kind of
Gotcha games.
yeah, that's what they're known for, and they really made a really good competitive hero shooter.
Yeah. It's I would say I preferred Rivals for like the first 200 hours, and then I hit kind of a wall with it where everyone kind of understood what the meta was and the way to exploit things at the high levels of ranked, like gold, plat. I was like one above plat. Like I was like, inching up, especially I got really good on console. So I mean, I was like up there with playing with top players every once in a while. And it just, because it wasn't as hyper balanced as Overwatch, it got less fun.
Because
And
everybody's playing the meta.
and everyone's playing the meta, and it's just, there were certain things like that were god mode, like, and it just wasn't fun because there wasn't enough check and balance. And then I went back to play Overwatch, and I was like, oh my god. I like played like 10 hours of Overwatch. I was like, oh my god, it doesn't compare. Like Overwatch is a better competitive shooter. Marvel Rivals is a better casual game. Just depends on what you want. But they're both great in their own right, if you couldn't tell from me blabbering on. Okay. We get to, it's an exciting night. We're recording
Oh
this
boy,
on the same night as the Game Awards. If anyone knows that, it's like the Oscars for nerds. And we
fuck the
get to,
Oscars.
yeah, if you're listening to this, you probably know what the fucking Game Awards are because you're nerds like us. But it's super fun, right? It doesn't really mean much, but we take our picks here for Game of the Year very seriously. And I'll run through the games. We'll talk about our favorite game, which I think it's the same. We kind of alluded to it earlier, or at least you said something that made me believe that we have the same Game of the Year. So I'm going to run through the games, and then we will talk about the Game of the Year. So Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Dispatch, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Ghost of Yote, Split Fiction, Mafia, The Old Country, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Doom, The Dark Ages, Silent Hill F, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remake, Avowed, Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, South of Midnight, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Elden Ring Night Rain, Dying Light, The Beast, Chronos The New Dawn, Little Nightmares 2, Borderlands 4, Monster Hunter Wilds, Little Nightmares 3, Borderlands 4, Monster Hunter Wilds, Pokemon Legends ZA, The First Berserker Kazan, The Outer Worlds 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 Remake, Skate Reboot, Schedule 1, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and Dune Awakening.
What a year.
Yeah, another really good year, honestly. There were a lot of good games that came out. It's, I mean, you've talked at length about Death Stranding too, but I mean, I'll give you the floor here to talk about that game a little bit more too, just because I think it is a pivotal game that we'll look back on for a really long time. And yeah.
I won't beat a dead horse. Got my PlayStation end of the year wrap up, and said I put in 76 hours of Death Stranding 2. Man, uh, Kojima was in his bag with this one. I think this is a culmination of all his greatest hits. I think everything that Hideo Kojima has ever made has some sort of cadence or presence in this game. Like he literally put the hull of a Metal Gear in it, and that's on the box art, and you can see that. So it's not really a spoiler. And I won't spoil any of the game because it's too hard for me to talk about that game in depth. And maybe one day we'll do spoiler reviews for certain games, and that could be one of them, and we could go in depth. But great game, phenomenal acting, phenomenal writing. Half of it doesn't make sense, doesn't need to. The gameplay is phenomenal. It really sucks you in. You really care about the world that you're in. You want to try to make it a better place, and it kind of there's something there that's just better than the first. And from a gameplay perspective, the story is just a little bit too obtuse, and there are things that are just kind of, you're being a little bit too pretentious. that I prefer Death Stranding 1 over Death Stranding 2. I think it's more cohesive and how you could be Hideo Kojima and be cohesive, but um Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Um Man, Warhorse Studios, they're making great RPGs, and that's a really fun game. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm sorry. It's the best Assassin's Creed I've played since Black Flag. I loved Shadows. I played it in Japanese voice acting with English subtitles, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Uh, Oblivion remake, it performance because it's Unreal 5 sucked. Avowed, man, I stick to Pillars of Eternity. Let's get Pillars of Eternity 3. I don't that world's cool.
Yeah.
You guys just kind of tried to chase Elder Scrolls and it didn't work, and it's a good game. It's fun. But it's kind of like Outer Worlds 1, where it's fun, but it's not like Fallout, and this is fun, but it's not like Skyrim. You know what I mean? Outer
Yep.
Worlds 2 looks like it could be different. I didn't get to play that. It looks a lot of fun. I'd like to play it. I'm not going to talk anymore about Arc Raiders because we know we beat that with a whole 2-hour episode last week or last time. Um, South of Midnight looked really cool. Didn't get to play it. Metal Gear Solid Delta, great game. It's literally the same game, just a facelift. First Burger Kazan, I really want that. I'm hoping that goes on Steam sale so I can buy it because it looks like it's got Ben, what's his name? Final Fantasy 16, Ben Starr,
Star, yeah.
and he's in Clear Obscure Expedition 33. Ben's like the new Nolan North probably. He's going to be in everything, and great game from what I've seen on First Burger Kazan. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remake, great. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, love that game. It's a love letter to those old school style games, but I think we'll reveal it at the same, or we'll talk about it. I'll let you introduce it, and we'll talk about what our game of the year is. But as far as some of these other goes, Chronos: The New Dawn, I wanted to play that, didn't get to play that. Hollow Knight Silk Song, glad y'all finally got it. Don't see the hype in it. Don't understand why y'all. There's better Metroidvanias out there, but I'm glad people got their game. Ghost of Yotai looks great, more of the samey, so that's kind of why I didn't play it. But I heard that the story is actually really good in it, and the combat is kind of more of Ghost of Tsushima. Split Fiction looks really cool. What is that guy? I just quoted. That's who I was doing. I said, "Fuck the Oscars." He's that director.
Yeah, I can never remember. He'll be there tonight for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he'll be there. He made A Way Out, I think, and
Yep.
It Takes Two.
Yep.
These games look so good. It's just like I don't have anybody in my house to sit down and play them, but I'm glad that there's someone that's a whole studio that's dedicated to we believe in couch co-op, we believe in 90s gaming. We're just gonna make these AAA games but you play couch co-op or online with a friend, and it looks awesome. I just didn't play it. Mafia, Old Country, I think it missed the mark. I don't know, man. I seen some stuff. I can't remember. I think it was some sales data numbers, and I think Hangar 13 is they might be in Take Two Interactive's crosshairs because
Yeah.
I think that game flopped, and not many people liked Mafia 3. I did, but a lot of people didn't, and I really think Hangar 13 might be in trouble. But man, Kevin, what's our game of the year?
Our game of the year is Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I think this game took a lot of people by surprise when it first came onto the scene. I'll set the stage a little bit. It's a small team. They say 33 people, but I think it came out there's under 50 people made this game essentially, and it is spectacular. It has an incredibly gripping story that turns out to be in its final act there's two things about this game I think that are interesting for me. It's that how immersed I was when I was playing the game, and then how I would continue to think about the game after I had finished it. Like it's a game that I think back on often and think about the story beats and just kind of think about the way that the story is told. It's really quite special. And I think honestly, something that makes it stand out from the rest is it's made by a French team. It
Yeah.
feels incredibly French, like the character design, the art, the way the characters, like it's set in, it's set in France, um, and it's really quite unique. I think the voice acting in it is awesome. Ben Starr's in it. You have just an incredible cast of voice actors
Charlie
that bring the
Cox.
story. Yeah, Charlie Cox, just great actors that bring this story to light and really ground it. And that's just one aspect of the game, right? Is the story. There's the incredible score that goes along with this game. All the music in this game is awesome. It's so fun. It's deep, it's rich, it enhances what you're doing visually, it enhances the gameplay. It's just really great all the way throughout. You have the gameplay, which is turn based, but it's more of an action turn based style where you have a dodge and parry system. It's something that feels very new and fresh for RPGs. I had a love hate relationship with it throughout my time because I love traditional RPGs and traditional turn based style gameplay. Sometimes there were times I wanted to put the controller down or just take a breather for a second, right? Because the game is pretty punishing when you do get hit. But the gameplay is fun and it's fresh. It feels good to play and learn the patterns of these different characters and really get powerful by picking your upgrades and all of the environments that you run through. They need a fucking mini map, but aside from that, they're really fun. Like they're just really quite fun to explore and find new things around corners. And they're it's not like the best world building I've ever seen in my entire life through some of these corridors that are a little bit more limited, right? Like the levels themselves are visually very stunning, but you're kind of being funneled down these hallways, right? It doesn't matter, it works, it's fun. There's just so much good to say here. I'll pass it over to you to kind of get your overall thoughts too, and we can dive deeper from there.
Yeah, I played this on Game Pass, and I really hate that I did. I really do. And I may go back one day and buy it on Steam. But this was before Game Pass increased their pricing and before I canceled my membership. And I played it on PC, and I just played it because, okay, once again, kind of with metaphor, it was like, let's see what the hype is about. I said earlier that some games come and go into my top 10 list. This may be in my top 5 list now. Like it is that good of a game. It is a beautifully written story. That opening, I'm not going to spoil anything. We will not spoil anything of this game because I think it's a game that everybody should experience. If you like single player games, you should play this game. Like I said, I'm not a JRPG fan. I'm not a turn based RPG fan. Um, this is one of the best RPGs I've ever played, and the story, like when it before the you know title pops in, this little prologue, if you will, is one of the most emotional beginnings of any game. I felt like I was reading the prologue to a book. And by the time I rolled credits, let me see, I think I put 67 and a half hours into it. And by the time I rolled credits, I was just kind of like, it was one of those games where I was just like, I sat there and I wondered if I made the right choice for the ending. Cause you can there's 2 endings you can get.
Oh yeah.
As far as I know, there's only 2.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, did I make the right choice? And I don't know if I did, and I don't know if there is a right choice. It's an extremely sad game. It's an extremely emotional game, and it's a very deep game that I feel has layers behind it that are still kind of being discovered. Andy Serkis is phenomenal voice acting in this game as
Mm-hmm.
well. It is a indie game. It's not technically a AAA game, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, I think they did have a very small team make this game, but it was outsourced and a lot of companies helped work on it. And so I would kind of argue, is this a true indie game? I don't know. I would say it's more of a double A game. But beside the fact, I think this wrote the book on how a turn-based RPG should function, because you have your typical, okay, you know, turn-based combat, but then they introduced like a Dark Souls parry system. And if you're not good at parrying, you can dodge everything too. There's a dodge mechanic that's active, and to pull off one of your special attacks, there's quick time events. So there's like 4 layers to this turn-based RPG that I've never seen before. And Metaphor may be the best JRPG. This is one of the best RPGs I've ever played, because like I said, to make that true JRPG definition, it has to meet those standards, I think. But technically, I guess per the gaming industry, this is a JRPG, tactically turn-based combat. The art style is phenomenal. There were some slow parts to it there, and I think the minimap thing is kind of frustrating. I think it does a poor job once you hit that overworld area. When you maneuver about the overworld, it's such a throwback to Final Fantasy VII and all the like older Final Fantasy games. It's kind of crazy, like moving through the overworld, but and in its own beautiful way. But there are some of it where it's like, oh, man, I don't really know where to go next or what I'm supposed to do, and I felt like sometimes I was fighting things I shouldn't have been. And
Yeah.
I remember fighting this one thing, and I was like, oh, I'm like level 15. I'm supposed to be 40 for this, and I beat it, and it was fucking hard. I think the system where you equip certain attributes to your players with I can't remember what it's called, because I played this game so earlier this year. You know
Yeah,
what
me
I'm
too.
talking about, right? You
Yep.
go and you swap them out. You have to consume a soul, basically, of an enemy you kill to get their power to deliver to your team.
Yep.
Um, Voice acting, like you said, I think this is another one of those games where it's got a great protagonists in it, and great male voice acting, but the female characters, from Mael to Luna was
Luna.
one of my favorite characters in any game.
Sael.
Sael was amazing. Just great acting, great interaction, great dynamic. They really felt like these people knew each other, and there was a chemistry there. Um, if if it's not in my top 10 or 5, if it's not my top 5, it's in my top 10. But the score is the best video game soundtrack I've ever heard, and it was all made by one person. Like, that
That's
is
why it was so
insane.
good. That's why it was so good. You kind of
It's
have to
so
have
good.
that vision. Yeah.
Dude, I was working out the other day, and I just had that on in my headphones.
It was like,
It's
oh.
it's relaxing. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, lots of good things to write home about. But those are my quick thoughts of just this game as a whole. And I'm pretty sure, the Game Awards start in about an hour from now when we're recording this. I'm pretty sure it's gonna sweep. It's gonna sweep.
Yeah.
It's gonna win every single category it's nominated in.
Yeah, I think it probably should. It's a spectacular video game. It's one of those that only come around every, you know, 10 years. I mean, I don't know. We had Baldur's Gate 2, which was also very good. Very different games, both RPGs, very very different in nature and style, delivery, everything. But both great in their own right. Yeah, it was special. Like I could tell when I was playing through the game, I tried to savor it. I wanted to. I actually, didn't play it purposefully for a few days so that I could go back and just play it for a little bit longer, right? Because now that I'm older, when I have these games that are very special experiences, I rush through them because I want to finish them as quickly as possible to listen
Right.
to see what other people think. But this game, I did not do that. I really tried to take my time with it. I took a couple nights off. That way, when I had a long session, like I knew I had a couple hours to play, sit down and really dive in, that I would be able to do that and really enjoy it and want to be there. So
What
I didn't rush it, but yeah.
what won last year at Game Awards? Was it Metaphor Refantasio, or was it Rebirth? It was one of the two, right?
I don't even remember what won last year. Let me see.
Because if
Um,
that's the case, either way, I mean, technically, Seven, it's an action
oh,
RPG.
Astrobot won.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because I was like, man, Rebirth and Metaphor got fucked.
Yeah, no,
Astrobot
Astrobot
was
won.
crazy. Man, that's kind of odd. I was gonna say it would be because you had Elden Ring in 22, then you had Baldur's Gate. If I mean to me, Astrobot's good, but Metaphor and Final Fantasy Rebirth are better games. And now, if you're an RPG fan, you've been eating very, very well for the last few years.
Yeah, there's been some really great games. Yeah, I mean, I think it sweeps tonight. I think it probably should sweep tonight. It's by far the best game that I played this year. And Arc Raiders is up there for me, right?
Without,
But
yeah, for sure. I mean, we just won't talk more about it because we talk so much about it. And I think it is. That's the
yeah,
one I voted for it to win best multiplayer. I hope it does win best multiplayer because it is. Um, Even though like I said earlier in the podcast, there are some problems that I have with it now. It's still the one of, if not the best multiplayer game. It's up there with PUBG and like things like Halo 2 and Counter Strike or CS:GO for me. As far as Arc Raiders and being a multiplayer game, it's one of the greats. As far to kind of dive a little bit back into Expedition 33, without spoiling anything, the twist that's fairly early at the beginning. How, and for those listening, like I said, we won't spoil anything, but for those that have played it, when that twist happened, did it shock you pretty bad?
I started to see where the story was going at that point. Like, yes, it was surprising to me, but it didn't cook my noodle. You know what I mean? Like, there were a couple things as the story progressed that I started to be like, okay, I'm catching on here. Not totally, but most of the way. And like I started to kind of call events that were coming up because like there's only so many ways you can go with a story like this. And I think one of the cooler things for me was like understanding like, okay, they've really thought about this. They've crafted a good story because I didn't know beat for beat what was going to happen, but like it was pretty close for some of the things that happened. There's a bigger twist towards the end as well with all of that. Like I didn't, you start to understand that there are certain rules about the world that don't quite add up, I think. And when you start to think about what it could be and why it's there and how it got there and how all of these things interact, there's only a few options I think that you can kind of like logically get to. And I was like, I was kind of close. Yeah.
Let me, I'm going to go ahead and say, if you don't want spoilers for Expedition 33, give us about like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll give a thumbs up when we're done spoiling
Yeah.
this, but so spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause to leave the room, pause to mute. When did you figure out you were in a painting?
I figured out I was in a painting like halfway through Act 2.
I thought I was in a book because they kept talking about the writers, and so I thought I was in a book.
It does that's what I was alluding to, right? It's like at a certain point you realize that the world is not real. It's some sort of fictional world that you're living in, whether it's a book or a painting or yeah, about halfway through, you're like, okay, this isn't real. Like there are characters that are not playing by the same rules here as other characters. Like there's something fishy is going on. It can't be real. Like it's got to be someone's imagination or something like that. So yeah, you start to kind of pick that up all the way. I think through the game, if you're paying attention to what you're picking up and reading and listening to the diaries and things, you start to kind of like they give you breadcrumbs in there about what's going on with the world.
Did you roll credits on it?
Yeah,
you did.
Oh yeah.
Which ending did you pick? Did you do Verso or Alicia?
I did the Alicia ending the first time, right? Well, that's where they go to it's like the theater ending, right?
That's what I did too.
And I knew as I picked it, I'm like, this is the wrong fucking ending, but like, I gotta choose it. Yeah,
I had it's crazy because like you take over Verso after Charlie Cox's character dies, and then I don't know about you, I did have Mael. For majority of my playthrough, she was always in my party. Usually, like
always.
You have your 3 starters and then your 2 reserves. My 3 starters were usually, I think for the majority of the playthrough, were Verso, Mael, and Luna.
Yep.
And then it depended on, and then it swapped towards the end where I was hitting things so hard like a truck that I wanted to just finish battles as quick as possible. So it was Verso, CL, Mael.
CL is a fucking nuke, dude. She's a
Oh,
nuke.
dude, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I use Luna as kind of like my healer for the
Yeah.
party
Yep.
because of all of her nature attacks and things like that. It was crazy that I don't even know if I intentionally spec it that way or if yours was the same. But Mael was pretty much my tank. This little
Yeah.
girl is my tank, and you know, I really wish there were things you could do for Verso that would give him what was Charlie Cox's character's name? He died so early.
Um,
I can remember.
it was Verso, and then
Gustav.
Gustav. Yeah.
Gustav.
Gustav.
Uh, Gustav. It's whatever day. It's the day
It's
we all die and
Coronation
turn to
Day.
rose. Yeah, Coronation Day. Yeah. What a game, man. Like,
Yep.
but that even when they all go out and you're like, and then they hit that rock and then uh
All
Renvar
hell
shows up
breaks
and just
loose. Yeah.
fucking kills everybody.
It's so
And
sick.
you can see him for just a split second. Verso's in that opening cutscene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, once that shipwrecked, and then you find Luna like almost dead, and then you're kind of making your way through that camp, and it's like I just needed more. It
Yep.
did so good at here's a bit. You're not gonna know what the fuck's going on until the very end, and it really, even when it's done, you're like, my one complaint with the story was I wish, and maybe I just didn't unlock more with the sister, you know,
Yes.
that she felt like she was gonna have more of an impact on the story and she didn't, and maybe that is due to some of my own choices, I think, because I guess I also heard there's a very secret boss that's there's a secret final boss that there's a potentially a third ending or some way there's a different boss and you have to do everything to unlock that ending. So I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to go back and play it. Is there any other spoilers you want to give for Expedition 33?
Not really. I think like the Mael reveal, and like there there was just a few parts of the story, and it's been a while since I've played it, but I do remember being like, meh, like there were like a couple things I was like, meh, but it
Well,
was not in a bad way, really. Like it was just kind of like, okay, yeah, we got to go there, like,
I don't know if they were trying. I mean, I knew she was wearing a mask, but it was like I could tell. I'm like, that's her.
yes,
That's her
very
the whole
clearly.
time. Like just because
Yeah.
her hair is gray and different, her eye looks very similar to this part of the face. Like I was like, that's her.
Yeah.
And so when then you're going through this mansion, you kind of slowly piece that. Oh, so he's a painter and he put all his kids in this art or all his siblings in his artwork because it was Verso,
It's
right?
Verso's. Yeah.
It was his painting, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's and God, what a game. What a game.
Yeah.
Like
It's incredible. It's really cool.
there's
You
little
got to play it.
because I only played through it one time and that was like what, when did that release?
Yeah. I started playing it like the day or the week
April.
it was released. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know life didn't finished it, and so yeah, I have not played that since like May, and yeah, what a game. But I guess spoilers done. So thumbs up. No more spoilers. We're done spoiling Expedition 33. It's our game of the year. Hate us, call us sellouts if you want to. Selling out to the indie game that's probably going to sweep game of the year.
Yeah. It's a great game. And if you haven't played it, you should. It's one of those.
Yep. Anything else on these? Man, dude, we covered 25 years of gaming in a few podcasts, and I had fun looking
Yeah,
back
this
at
was
all these.
great. This was such a good idea that you had to do this. It's like a trip down memory lane. I think it's good for us, like starting up the podcast. People can come back here and take a listen to some of our favorite games and what we think about each year, and some light commentary on things to just kind of get people caught up with like how we grew up gaming, what we typically like, what our preferences are, and just overall, a good nostalgic trip, I think.
For sure. Yeah, and it's I think somebody on our TikTok had said trip down memory lane, and somebody was like, I can see these as you guys talk about them, and that's kind of what I wanted to convey, is kind of put ourselves in that where we were growing up for the last 25 years, because this is the end of a quarter of a century,
Yeah.
from 2000 to 2025, and you talk about video games, and a lot of things have happened. A lot of crazy shit has happened since 2000 to where we are in December of 2025 today, and it's great to have something like video games to go down that rabbit hole and take your mind off of stuff.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So we have one more thing that we need to do before the Game Awards. We wanted to make a quick prediction. Just one. We're each going to get one prediction as to something that's going to happen at the Game Awards. I have a few that I'm tossing around in my head.
Same.
But I'm going to go with what I really want to see.
Before that, though, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask. I mean, I think we both agree Claire Obscure is probably going to sleep. Your
Yeah.
nominees for Game of the Year at the Game Awards, at the Keeleys, as they're called: Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Hollow Knight Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Hades 2. Is there any chance any of these games wins over Claire Obscure?
I don't think so.
The I don't think so either. The only one I would see coming close would be
Death Stranding, maybe.
Death Stranding, and because he's such good friends, and but if that happens, it's like,
I don't think enough
not that
people
many
probably
people
played.
That's
Yeah,
that's
I
what I'm
don't think
saying.
enough people played Death Stranding.
If that wins, these awards are bullshit.
Yeah.
Which they're already
Yeah.
bullshit. I mean,
Yeah,
DICE
they're
is
already.
usually the bigger game awards, but this is the most public.
Yeah, this one's like a full celebration of the games industry, essentially. And no, I think Claire wins. And
I do too.
Yeah, I think it's easy.
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm just gonna are we gonna say like what we think something's gonna happen, or are we talking like what game we think is gonna get revealed? Game we get revealed, right?
I just think, I mean, revealed or like re-revealed, or like, does it have to be like a brand? Like, do you want it to be a brand new game?
No, I just think just our prediction for reveal.
Okay.
And most likely thing to happen. So I've been doing something in the day and a half that we took off in between re-recording this podcast. I've been playing through. I told you about at the beginning. I was playing Fallout 76, watching the TV show, getting ready for season 2. Launches on Monday. I've been in a Fallout mood, so I started playing Fallout 4 survival mode. Holy fuck, is this one of the hardest things I've ever had to do? It's because you can only save when you sleep, and for a Fallout game, and shit just there's an alpha mongrel dog. I'm level 7 outside of camp. It keeps killing me, one shots me, and so it's super frustrating because you can get shit done, but you can only save when you sleep. And so I don't know how I'm like, there's no way. It's just too frustrating to like play this long of an RPG with that mechanic built into it. So I'm probably not going to do that. The reason I bring that up, I think the success of this game, or the success of this TV show, and the abysmal bomb. Well, it didn't bomb because it sold like gangbusters, but everybody kind of like hated on it, of Starfield. And you had Fallout 76's rough launch. It's in a decent state now, but it has content from the show in the current season of Fallout 76.
Yep.
My prediction that I think is a lock, because he already said Todd Howard's going to be at the Game Awards.
Yeah, he did say that.
I think we get Fallout 3 or New Vegas gets the Oblivion treatment. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Fallout 3 or New Vegas remake on Unreal 5.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to happen or not. I want a date for Judas.
Ooh, this would be the place to do it.
I want a release date for Judas. I want another trailer. I want something Judas related to happen at the Game Awards. We need a fucking date. We need a date from these guys. We need to know what. And a bonus prediction. I think it comes out in the next year. I think they're going to say from when they release it, I think it's going to be less than a year from when they release the date to when it is supposed to release.
You think you would have to if you're Ken Levine in that studio. I mean, it got announced, I think, in when 21,
Yeah,
21 or 22.
It's time. The
And
game's
it
got
wasn't.
to be almost
It,
baked.
the only two times I think we've seen it have been, I think, Game Awards and Summer Games Fest, or just Game Awards. It's all been Keeley events, right? So
Yep,
I think you're right in predicting that too. I think we do get something, Judas.
got to,
Um,
got to.
and I want to play that so bad.
Oh,
Love
I
BioShock.
want to play it so bad. It looks so good.
Could you imagine you get a Ken Levine game and GTA 6 in the same year?
No, that'd be too much. That'd be too
Knocking
much.
spots. Yeah, but I'm with you. I think it has to come out next year,
Yep.
and I don't think it gets any more delays. Do you think though? And I know we've predicted that. I think GTA 6. This is their last delay. What do you think that's gonna fuck with reveals tonight and like change up? Like another soft prediction would be there's gonna be a lot of trailers with no dates because GTA fucked them.
Yeah,
is what I think. I think you're gonna have a lot of trailers with no dates.
it's super possible, but that would suck, man. Give me gameplay trailers. Give me gameplay trailers and give me dates. That's all I want to see.
And stop announcing shit like you, Todd Howard. If you're gonna be there tonight, stop announcing shit 5 years ago for Elder Scrolls 6. Do you realize that if Elder Scrolls 6 is still that far off, they allegedly are porting Starfield and there's some kind of DLC coming to PS5 next year. A mainline Fallout game from Bethesda is not happening until like 2030.
Yeah,
2028.
forget about it.
So that's why I think you're going to see Bethesda Studios, Obsidian, or maybe not Obsidian, because I feel like they've been too busy with Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. They should be the ones since they made New Vegas, but maybe you get like a soft, because it's easy to create trailers for games in Engine without any gameplay. So they could totally do that in Unreal 5 and show just the Lone Wanderer in the NCR uniform. Just recreate that cutscene where he's sniping, and then that's it. That's the big thing, right? We did talk through text. We didn't say this on air, but the statue is pretty much all but confirmed something Divinity related. Doesn't have to be Divinity Original Sin, but it looks like it's a Larian game. So I think that's what they're going to close with, probably, is like, why would you have the statue and that not be your big reveal? And that's why I'm like, man, I don't know if this is going to be, if that's your big reveal, which I'm into, but people don't even know who Larian is other than Baldur's Gate. And it's like, why would you have that as your one more thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited. Like every year I get hyped to watch.
I just hope it's not 3.5 hours like last year.
I bet it's fucking going to be.
You think so?
Yep.
If it is, you might be the only one streaming, because I'm gonna probably call it a night, because I'm not putting up with 2 hours of, here's free next NetEase anime titty game with some weird indie platformer. You know what I mean?
You better buckle up, baby. There's going to be a lot of that tonight. I can guarantee it. It's going to be one huge hashtag ad.
Oh yeah, that's all this is just one big ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to stream it with you. Hopefully, if you watched it with us, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Helping the channel grow. We'll probably get like 3 viewers tonight at max, but it is what it is. Yeah. I told my wife, I said, I'm just excited to have a night off to watch the Game Awards with you.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be super fun. I'm excited.
I guess
Godspeed.
We'll see y'all after the Game Awards or next week, and yeah,
we'll see you then.